All right, good evening. Now we're live. I heard somebody in the background over there. Ah, it's Bob Hunt. You're an early arriver tonight, Bob. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm on the East Coast, so it's
Yeah, everything happens faster over here.
mm-hmm.
Um, I haven't been able to get the chat box on YouTube working yet. If you'll bear with me just a second, I think I've got it now. We need to pop it out, and I can watch the YouTubers while we chat over here live. And okay, there it is. All right, so we're rocking and rolling now. It is excuse me, Monday, August the 13th, and welcome. I'm Rusty, your host for the next couple of hours. This is the twice a week Stunthangar Hangout, and welcome everybody. If you come in on YouTube, you're welcome to use text to chat with us anonymously if you wish, and we've also got a super chat $sign down at the bottom of the chat box. If you'd be so kind as to click that, that helps Sparky pay his server fees and keep me on the air and keep Stunt Hanger servers paid and keep everything free as well as that. And we're all about talking aeromodeling or planes, trains, and automobiles, whatever suits your fancy, from your workshop or your armchair. And with that, let's kick start it. How you doing tonight, Bob?
I'm doing well. It was fun the other night.
Yeah, I checked it. I looked at some of the rerun. I think I saw bits and pieces of most of it, and looked like y'all had a really good show. And looked like everybody was pretty relaxed and having a good time.
Yeah,
We got Jack Snavely and Ron Hass on the YouTube side. Welcome, fellas. Glad to have y'all with us tonight. Ron usually jumps in and out when people call him to come fix their computers. I think he's a tech with a company that has to go plug in a computer when it's got a black screen and various things like that. But so anyway, I hope we'll get a good crowd. Mondays sometimes turn out to be the most exciting nights because people get out over the weekend and do something fun and come tell us about it. So you've been getting any handle time lately, Bob?
a little bit. I was a couple of weeks ago. I went down. I was invited down to fly with Frankie Imbriaco and Tom Luciano at Airfield. They have a beautiful
Uh,
field at Solberg Airport. The problem is they get those TFRs because it's so close to where Trump's headquarters is. When he's there,
yeah.
he can't fly. So last week or so, we haven't been able to fly because he's been there. But I went down and flew Tom's drop nose crossfire, one with the motor center line, a little closer to the wing center line. And he has it with that Igor system, the active timer, the 12-inch flatback hollow prop, and those new Ukrainian lines. And those are just amazing.
What kind of material are they?
They're steel lines, four strand steel, and then they're brass plated. Um, and they feel like they fly like 18s, but they feel like 15s. In other words, there's no stretch to them
Yeah.
whatsoever, but they don't seem to have much drag. They're 16 thousandths in diameter.
Did you say they were brass plated?
Yeah, so you got to
Wow,
be
that's
careful
interesting.
about corrosion and things.
Yeah. Plus friction. That's probably pretty low friction when they get
Very
wrapped up.
Yeah, I described it as being another hobby. That's how good they are. It's like a different hobby.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
I
you can
recommend people try them.
you can take off into a lot of different directions with all the different disciplines of knowledge you have to be a control line flyer. Yeah. Engines was what got me into it. I wouldn't be here if I hadn't been, hey Charles, if I hadn't been walking through Western Auto as a kid and seen that P-51 Cox plastic Mustang in the box and wouldn't have given it a second look if it didn't have a real gas engine, as it said on the box. And so I had to have it and never looked back from there.
Yeah.
How you doing, Charles?
Oop, can't hear them.
No audio? We're not hearing you, Charles. What's going on? Let me look at your control panel here. I know Sparky was trying to turn Bob up or down the other night and couldn't, but oh, okay, let's see. Everything looks in place for Charles. Say something, Charles. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Speak up, Charles. Come on.
No, we're not getting you. We can see you, but we can't hear you. May want to replug. No. You can see and hear us all right, right? Thumbs up if you can. Okay, good. Well, unplug and replug and click buttons, and not sure what I can suggest that you don't already know. Now, see, Bob's microphone's red, but he seems to be on despite that. Yeah, I can hear you. So, Bob, was your dad a control liner or a modeler of any sort? How'd you get into the field?
Oh, yeah, that's a very interesting story. I think my dad started flying model airplanes when Admiral Byrd flew over the North Pole, in 1925 or something, or 26. He had one of the first model airplane companies in the United States, a company called Crimson Model Aircraft Company in Louisville, Kentucky. His He moved from Abbott, Arkansas, with my grandmother. His father, my grandfather, had passed away when he was very young. They moved up to Louisville, and he became an airport brat, hanging around the Louisville airport, which was a hub of aviation in those days. And during Derby days, he would go out there and polish the Spartan executives and the Wacos and all these great airplanes and make a few dollars. And he got to meet all the famous aviators of that time frame, Charles Lindbergh and Wiley Post. And he got to help Amelia Earhart down off the wing of a burning Vega when they were refueling it. It went on fire. There was a bunch of people who went over there and helped her down off the wing. He was one of them. So.
Yeah, I bet she didn't need any help either, did she?
Probably not. She's pretty self-sufficient, but
yeah. Charles, you any luck over there? Nah, I'm not. We're still not hearing you, bud.
Sign off and re-sign on again. See if that
works.
works.
Yeah, that's the best idea I can come up with too. But anyway, me and Bob will entertain everybody while you're getting it worked out.
Yeah. So he had this company called Crimson Model Aircraft Company, and he built rubber-powered ROGs, little rubber-powered, airplanes with landing gear, monoplanes, and he would sell them all over the world via email. This is back in the Depression era, and he kept my grandmother and he alive by running this little company. He sold bamboo strips and condenser paper and all kinds of materials to make rubber powered ROGs, hand carved props, all kinds of neat stuff.
Yeah, bamboo is amazing stuff. I've put more than one profile fuselage back on the trailing edge of the wing after it broke off with bamboo skewers, barbecue skewers, and it's good strong stuff.
Yeah, they used to strip it to real thin sections and use it for building, and they used banana oil for attaching the paper and things. It was a whole different world back then.
Yeah, I would have never. In fact, I don't think I ever have heard of anybody using banana oil, but I guess in lack of materials, technology, you may do with what came naturally in nature.
Yeah, apparently, it was pretty popular back then to do that kind of stuff. And then he moved to Chicago and worked out there for a guy named Merkel. He's an engineer and a machinist. And then they moved to the East Coast to Union, New Jersey, which is where I lived. I was born in Elizabeth, but I lived there in Union for the first 12 years of my life. And he ran a manufacturing machine shop at our base. And he had all model airplane flyers as people he was training to be machinists. We have here. We have Jerry.
We got Jim Ballard and Gerald Wimmer, and I believe you met Gerald the other night. And Jim Ballard used to be more regular than he has been lately, but I'm sure glad to see you, Jim. We miss you. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Rusty.
You've been doing what you've been doing for fun.
I haven't been doing much at all for fun.
Well, that's no fun. I guess I don't have to tell you that.
You're right. You're right. But
Charles is having trouble with his audio, so me and Bob were just talking. Bob was doing most of the talking to tell us about his early days until Charles can get straightened out. So now we got y'all in here.
well,
Gerald,
cool. I'd like to hear more of it.
what's up, Gerald?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. Hello, Bob. Hello, Charles. Hello, Jim. I've just been flying on Sunday. Right now, the room stinks of lacquer thinner. So if I look queasy and I'm going to look like I'm going to faint, it's because I've filled the room up with too many solvent smells. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to get the power up in there.
But, yeah, we had a good flying session on Sunday. We're going on to spring now, so the weather's improved a lot here, and we had a really good turnout of people out there flying. And we had a few old modelers come out of the woodwork. One guy that hadn't flown for 10 years, and I got him back up behind the handle, and he's saying, "Oh, great! I haven't forgotten it. It's all there. I haven't forgot." So
it's still there. You just gotta polish the kinks out of it once in a while.
Yeah, it's good seeing some old modelers back, and I was watching my sons fly a combat model of mine, and they were going really well. One of the guys that hadn't seen him fly before just said, "Who's that fly? He's really good." And I just thought, well, it took a long time to get there for Otto to get to that point. But,
that would be Otto, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Otto was very, very good behind the handle. He was showing off his stuff, whereas Max was being very cautious and trying not to crash in front of a big audience. So they both sort of work in different ways. But Otto's a good flyer, whereas Max is quite keen on the building front now. He's actually come along to the point where he'll come and bother me virtually every night and say, "Let's do some work on my plane, Dad. I want to make my plane come along." And I've been helping him making puppets. And he just loves creating things. He's got a real hand for being an artisan. So you show an interest in what he's interested in. He shows more interest in the modeling, which is good. But
yeah.
How did the vacation go, Rusty?
Oh, pretty good. It was short but sweet. And our Holly and my best friends, our best friends live at Surfside Beach, which is a little bit north of Pawleys Island, which is our usual stomping grounds. But since they live there, we try to get down there every couple of months for a weekend. And we managed to make it on Friday and stay 2 nights this time. And we went down to Pawleys, went out on the beach and relaxed and had a good time. Most of the time was just sitting around chatting and talking and enjoying, so that's my idea of a vacation, a short vacation anyway. We were only able to make it down for 1 week at the beach this past June. So a weekend here and a weekend there makes up for it. And it's not but 2.5 to 3 hours away. And oh, by the way, Gerald, thanks for the super chat. We got your greenie over here. And Charles, are you still silent? No ideas? Nothing there.
Try shutting off and rebooting and come back up again.
he seems like he's got something there that he's thinking about anyway.
Yeah, he does look like he's pretty deep thought, but Charles is a deep thinker anyway. Intensely deep thinking guy. But yeah, reboot. That's the best suggestion we've come up with so far.
Yeah. If it doesn't work, then maybe an external mic. Yeah. Well, we'll catch you hopefully soon, Charles.
There he goes. Okay, maybe he'll have some success with that. Well, yeah, I'm hoping that polishing the old kinks out of the muscle memory is all it takes, because it's been a long time for me since I've been up and flying, and so I'm going to work on it. We're having a club meeting at Triple Tree in a couple of weeks, and that'll be a good place for me to go out and test my leg and see if I can balance on it. And Jamie just joined us. Good evening, Jamie. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Could be better, could be worse.
Well, yeah, okay, good. What you got on the table today?
That's a fire.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Been flying the Twister?
I flew it. Let's see. One day after work, I think last week. And last Sunday? Or Sunday before last, I'm sorry. That was the last time I flew it.
How's
Flew,
it
made
trim wise?
Seems to be good so far. Each flight's getting better and better.
Good. Well, I've got the Luciano Super Satan hanging up in the shop amongst all of its new friends now, and got the little Satan hanging right next to it. I posted a picture of that over on Cox Engine Forum.
I was talking to Larry Scarinzi yesterday. He called, and we were talking, and he was building. He said he's building another Super Satan, but he's been building it for almost a year now. So.
Hi, Tom.
Larry's been building it for how long now?
About a year, he said.
Oh, that sounds like me lately. That's a really nice plane. I can't wait to get a hand on it.
I've flown some of his over the years.
I'm going to take it to Huntersville, and if I can't fly it by then, I'm going to let Mike Leinke fly it, as he's one that I trust with the handle that I know can handle it, and hopefully he's got a Fox 36X that we can bolt on it. I don't have an engine for it right now, not the one that it's designed for, and so Tom wanted me to use a 36X if possible. So I think Mike's probably got one I can bolt on. He and I will talk about it closer Huntersville gets. And Tom Creasy's in here. How you doing, Tom?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, Tom.
We're good. How's your dad doing?
He's okay. I finally got the Wi-Fi. I'm here at his house still, and yep, been a while. I've been wanting to get on for a while. Been missing you guys.
Have you moved any of your workshop materials to his house?
No. Lately, I've been working on other projects, trucks mainly. Truck restoring an AC system out of a '68 C10 Chevrolet truck. That was fun. It was fun to do. 2.5 week project.
How's your hurricane doing?
Oh, it's going. I should be ready to start painting it here coming this winter. I haven't done any work now for it's probably been 3 months. I haven't even done any flying yet. I've been trying to keep up with everyone flying though. That's been a challenge in itself. But
have you seen Rick Bollinger lately?
Oh yeah, he's the fellow with the 1968 Chevrolet C10 truck. Yeah, he lives about he's about 9 blocks from here. So I seen him all last week, every night after he got off work. But this week, I think it's the wife's week.
I enjoyed hanging out with you guys out there at the nest that
year. Yeah, I enjoyed it too. I enjoy hanging out. I like that.
Over on YouTube, Arthur Genre says he can't hear Bob. He needs to turn his mic up. But I think let me see if I can. Bob said he couldn't the other night. I got it all the way up now. Say something.
The Stunthangar adjusted your audio level. How's that feel?
Yeah, that sounds better. What about you, Arthur? He's on text, so maybe he'll answer. Yeah, I turned it up from here as high as it'll go, so it sounded like it got better. Anyway, yeah, sorry to interrupt. Just wanted to interject that.
Nope. Me and Rick, we've got some plans this winter though on some aircraft. So. Both been so busy that we haven't had time to really to do anything this year in flying anyways, but we're trying to get a plan set up so come here in about a couple months we'll be hot and heavy on the board. I think I'm gonna attempt my first real competitive airplane, not a warbird.
Oh, you mean a pretty plane this time, huh?
Yeah.
I was about to say I saw a Dr. Pepper and a black couch, so that must mean Sparky's here. I just saw him do a cameo in the corner of the camera.
Yeah, that little guy in the back there, he popped out. He's a sweet one. That little guy.
Yeah.
Hey, Sparky, what's going on, man?
Nothing. You're on late tonight. It's my bedtime, so it'll be quick.
I took your show back over. You got a good, you had a good show the other night. I went back and watched most of it. And somebody's got feedback. Who's got feedback going on?
No. So how you been, Sparky? Haven't seen you for a while.
Been all right.
Yeah, I've been. I watched some of your flying this year. You could tell a big difference in flying this year than you was last year.
Got a better airplane.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It was. Yeah, you're flying really good, I thought. Are you going to be down at Broken Arrow?
No,
No.
I doubt it.
Me and Rick's trying to decide whether we're going to go or not. I kind of wanting to go up there to up Chicago way, up flying up there with them guys up in Aurora.
I'll be in Detroit Sunday.
What you got going on in Detroit?
Contest.
Who else is in contest mode here? Anybody else got them coming up? Jamie?
I got 3 of them coming up.
Wow.
I got Tulsa I'm going to go to next month. And I got our contest in third week in October. And then El Dorado first weekend in November.
How do you like your Firecat?
Honestly, I ain't really got to fly it all that much. When I did fly it, I got a couple of flights with it, but it was so out of whack. I don't think I did the CG properly, and so it was pretty tail heavy. So every time I would, even think about doing the loop, it was already going up in a wing over.
I had one of those when they first came out.
They were real popular around the Carolina gang last summer. Not this summer, but last summer. There's several of them built during the summer.
I had a Indian 19 on it, and I don't think it was enough. I mean, the lap times were good, but I mean, it was so like sluggish, like it just wasn't like enough, I guess.
Not enough reserve there for the hills, eh?
So Saturday I tried getting my Super Tiger 23 to run, but I couldn't get it to run less than 12,600 RPM. And I think it's just too much of a little powerhouse of a motor because I want to use it for old time stunt. And I mean, it's not the ideal plane for that anyway, but just to have something to where I can participate with it. And so that Super Tiger just ain't going to do it. So I might just drop this 25 LA in it and just be done with it.
Sounds a good idea.
When you need dependable, that 25 LA's a nice little engine. And it seems like it covers a pretty wide span of airplane types and weights too.
Yeah. I mean, this is the second one I just got. I found it online. It's the LAS, and I got it for $30. And it's practically new. Ain't, if it's been ran, it ain't been a whole lot.
Hey, talking about an LA 25, I still have not flown my Stuka. And what length of line should I have on that? It's got like 480, 490 square inch wing, 25 LA.
About 57's the last time we talked about it, but I don't know. I don't remember for sure.
I'd say 57, 58, just go from there. Just start with.
How much does it weigh?
32.4.
Yeah, you can fly on 10,000 solids or 12,000 cables legally. Go out to a little bit longer line and get some more airspeed, and it'll carry that line well, I think.
How many feet?
Well, I would say you could go up to like 60, 61 feet, maybe even 62 feet if you go to thinner lines.
Oh, go what, from 18 to 15?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
you don't want 18 on that.
Or 12 or 15.
Well, you could legally fly that. Anything under 40 ounces, 40 or under, you can fly on 12,000 cables or 10,000 solids.
Oh,
I can fly my Twister on 12. Nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I've always been a little leery of 12 just because they're fragile for my clumsy ass, and I pretty much stick with 15. But most of the planes I fly are between 40 and 50 ounces, maybe up to 55.
You know, back in the 50s, Scarinzi and Reinhardt and all those guys, they were flying all those hot combat ships on 10,000 solids. That's all they ever flew on.
Speaking of lines, that Rusan guy, the Russian line man, I bought a set of those lines, the six strand brass, and he sent me an email, and they were 16,000, and he said, well, those aren't the high performance lines. I'm going to send you a set, but they're coming from the Ukraine, so it'll take 2 weeks to get them. They're 4-strand, 14,000.
Yeah, Bob was telling us about that earlier tonight.
So I'll give those a try.
They actually measure out at 14.5.
Right.
Put a vernier mic on them. And the thing is, if you look at the AMA rules say 15,000, but it says 14.5, and they'll round up to 15. If it's at the 0.5 mark,
Yeah,
round it up to the next higher size. So if you get somebody that squeezes down hard with a micrometer, that might go to 14.4, and then you're out of luck, you know.
Yeah, well, there's tolerance.
anybody that knows how to use a micrometer shouldn't be squeezing down on it
that's
either.
right. I'd be teaching that guy something.
2 + 2 was knockout. Oh.
What would you run on it? What would you run a prop on that LA-25?
I start with a 9.5, something like that.
9-inch, not a 10-inch.
I'd use a 10.4.
A 10. Well, yeah, I wouldn't go any higher than a 10.4, but somewhere in the upper nines. I mean, 9 to 10 area. I think it'd be fine with either.
Put a little Phillips entry in the
Say 9.5 to start, and maybe 9.6 and 10.4. That'd be my thoughts on it. I mean, what do I know? I'm only intermediate. I know Jeff.
It depends on the make of the brand of the prop too. I mean, I just assume people are talking about APCs until they tell me
That's
otherwise.
what I have APC.
Yeah,
9.5 APC.
that's a good prop for it. And then fly it and see, and you can adjust your speed or the engine run until you find the right prop engine plane combination. Just a matter of trial and error.
My 32 on my Nobler, OS 32F, I got 11.4 on it, and that should be right for it because that's what I ran on my car.
That's a helicopter motor, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard of a 32. I also had an engine nobody'd ever heard of not this year, but last May when I was flying that Tudor, and I had a Thunder Tiger 39 on it. And everybody said, what? A Thunder Tiger 39? And it was a ball bearing helicopter engine that had been something. I don't know whether reworked or what, but it had been converted to a control line engine, and it worked real well as a straight 2-stroker, which is fine with me. I like straight 2-stroking. I don't have to worry about whether it's going to pull up with authority when I come into that first wing over.
On the chat, he says 10.4 don't pull like a 9.5 or 9.6. So that's just sort of dependent on the RPM you're turning the motor too.
Yeah. Jack, you need to get you a camera, buddy, so you can come in here with us live. You're a regular over there on YouTube lately.
Yeah, there's some great motors out there that really like to rev out compared to the old baffle engines of yesteryear. And when you plug them up and blow them down too much, they don't like it. They don't get the horsepower out of it, that potential. I've got an ASP32, which I think is a copy of the OS32, but it's actually quite a large case. It's quite a big motor. It's not like the old OS25 FSR, which is quite a small compact motor. Some of the new 32 size ones are bigger, but not as big as the 40, obviously.
Well, this OS32 is in like a 25 case. It's tiny.
That would be good, yeah.
32.
They did a 28 as well. I've seen the 28s, but I've very rarely seen the 32s come up.
Those Enya SSs, the 25, the 32, and they're good motors. They run very well and stuff.
Or a friend of mine was flying my Enya SS40 on the weekend. He really liked it. He said it was a great little motor. This is a good fuel though. But I suppose any motor that's making horsepower is going to use fuel.
Okay, I'll finish this snowbird. All I gotta do is put clear on it.
Yeah, this year I'm hoping this Christmas I'm trying to get me a rear exhaust engine. I'm hoping to get that this year before the year ends.
Ever see this one, Bob?
Oh man, that's nice. I like white planes. Let me click. I had to click that up. There we go. That's beautiful.
I like that design with the checkerboard.
Is that vinyl or is that painted?
It's painted.
What's that weigh?
What's that, Bob?
What does it weigh?
Right now it's 38 ounces.
Oh, I should plug it.
Put the clear on. It'll be 40 ounces when it's done.
What kind of wheels are they?
I don't know. They were in the RC shop here, Radical RC. They don't weigh anything.
Those are MKs.
But they're wide.
Yeah, I like them. But they're light though.
Oh yeah, super light. This was
Is it normal? I mean, most Nobblers built with fuselage mounted gear like that, or do people put in the wings as well?
No, this is a green box Nobler.
Okay.
Except for the cowl line. But everything else is the same as a green box Nobler. Yeah. One of the guys on Stunthangar sent me a set of plans from a green box Nobler, and I built it.
Yeah, I remember when you first started cutting balsa wood on it.
I built 2 wings.
Yeah.
The first wing was with Brodak rib set, and the way that the rib set was done, it ended up like a propeller. I built my own. Got airplanes everywhere.
So Sparky, how did those Voodoos do? I haven't been around in a couple of months. How did those Voodoos do?
Too fast for me.
Do what?
They're too fast for me.
Too fast for me.
They get ahead of you in a hurry, don't they?
I got 5 of them in the corner. This is the one that hit the ground. It hit the ground. This is fast cal on it as a repair, but it hit the ground. It was about 100 and something miles an hour, just zipping around there.
Yeah, I've flown a few planes that were that fast, but I don't have a lot of handle time on that kind of speed. That's a lot.
Well, I did a bunch of insides, and it was right at the end of the flight, so it was really zipping along good. I did a bunch of insides, and I thought, well, I better do some outsides. So I started, you know, inside, and then I wanted to do some outsides, and I changed my mind. And by the time I changed my mind, it buried itself leading edge into the ground.
Change your mind is death. Change your mind is death at that speed.
Looked like it held up pretty well, though.
Okay, I clicked up, Bob. There you go, man.
Is that a green box Nobler?
No, that's a Simonized Nobler. We took the ribs out of a green box kit, threw everything else away. Bill Simon showed me how to, instructed me how to build his kind of Nobler, and that had wing gear. Here's another picture of it.
Wow.
I think I've seen that picture on the forum.
Oh, yep. I recognize it.
Nice. Now that one's got wing mounted gear.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I bet you got a lot of pictures, Bob.
Probably 5 to 7 miles.
Yeah, you answered my question before I was got a chance to ask it earlier. Was if you knew Tom Luciano, because it was, my show and tell the other night was the day that he had sent me the Super Satan, and I got it. That was the first time. I didn't know he'd been even watching us, and now I know who T-Bone Tom is. That was on YouTube, but I had never seen him.
That's me when I was younger.
Wow, sure is.
Here's another one of me when I was younger.
Look at all Sparky and everything.
Look at Sparky.
Look at the age of every picture.
And there's that airplane finish.
Look at Jason Greer sneaking up in
Oh,
there.
darn.
That's pretty sharp.
But I saw a plane today that I might end up, I kind of liked it, was the Intrepid XL.
Yeah. One of Randy's.
Seeing that post Randy made on Facebook, huh?
Oh, I didn't even see Jason come in. Hey, Jason.
He's sneaky.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Pretty good. Were you in here on Friday night?
Yes, sir. I got on for the first time last Friday.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, I'm Rusty, and so this is the first time we've met in real life, so to speak.
Good to meet you, Rusty.
I ain't even going to introduce myself because I done entertained that guy twice in El Dorado.
Look forward to it again, man.
Oh, yeah, bro. I'm counting down the days. I think I'm more hyped for that contest than Paul.
It'll be here before we know it, man.
Go up and up to settings and choose your microphone and camera.
Never saw Charles come back after he logged off. He didn't have any audio.
We're up to 9 people. I might put out now so Tom can get in and Charles can get in because
It'll let one more in, I think. It'll let 9 plus me in.
Well, it's gonna have another person because I gotta go to bed, so I just thought I'd check in.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in and helping us get kicked off, Sparky.
Yep.
Those great pictures, Sparky.
Yeah. Old picture.
Yeah, they were.
well, thanks for sharing, Sparky.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
All right, Sparky. See you later.
Nice work.
Okay.
See ya.
Better win straight lines. All right. Sparky's gone. Now we can really cut loose.
That was good to see him. I haven't seen him for a while.
Yeah, we got a lot of background noise going on. I don't know what that's all about. It's not like feedback.
There you go.
Those are different, those.
Oh, in the picture.
More pictures. Let's see. The young Bob Hunt.
Yeah. 1941
Yeah, very young.
New kid.
Who's that?
That's me with a Pico suit.
Oh,
That is a,
I had hair.
that's a remote control, right?
It's free flight.
free flight.
Free flight. Okay.
I'll be darned.
Nice strappy t-shirt from the era. Remember having those nice strappy t-shirts?
Yeah. Dressed me well.
This is my son about 30 years ago.
I see the plane. Oh, I can see him barely looking out between the wing and the stab.
Yeah, he's barely bigger than the Goldberg Buster.
Yeah.
Is that a
30
Pinto?
years ago, and now he's just had his third kid and like twice as big as I am.
Is he still flying?
Do what?
Does he still fly?
Yeah, he's a RC helicopter pilot now.
Oh, wow. That takes some.
Doesn't do much control line anymore, but
RC helicopter takes a lot of finesse.
oh yeah, he's pretty good at it too.
Well, some of the stunts that they do is off the chain.
Oh, it's
I mean,
crazy.
I like hide underneath the bleachers and crap.
Oh yeah, I opened the door on my car and roll the window down enough to where I can peer through the the glass and the rail and stand behind the car door the whole time. Those things were in the air because
awful.
If it busted a link or something, you wouldn't know which way to run before that thing had killed you.
Well, there was a real famous RC pilot, helicopter pilot that was really good at the stunts, and he got killed about 2 or 3 years ago. It was on national TV.
I remember that.
Where he was doing his stunt flying with that helicopter, and something happened and got him.
Was that in New York?
I can't remember now.
I think that was a guy sport flying, but I heard a similar story. Something broke on the helicopter and it clipped him.
It sounds scary when you
Oh, it is.
And Robbie and Ryan, Robbie's who I'm watching. He's now an engineer at Boeing. Well, not an engineer,
Right.
Look at that.
nice action shot. Yeah.
What's that?
Nice action shot.
Hey,
At the moment.
Boeing, that's pretty impressive.
Robbie had his first
Up just there.
first contest with Dan Banjak at the Skate Circle. That was about 1990, I guess.
Who's that? Who's the one on the right?
The guy in the white T-shirt.
Yeah.
That's Dan Banjak.
Oh, my.
And he took first, and Robbie took second. Robbie had just learned the pattern.
Oh, Robbie's your son. Oh, I see. I got it.
That's the youngest picture of Danny I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of neat. Yep. I figured Steve Hines would be on tonight because
He usually drops in a little later.
yes, last week I was on when Chris and him was on, and Chris, I was just listening to him talk about the worlds. That was kind of interesting, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Steve had been on before talking about it, and so we got another perspective from Chris on it too.
Yeah, that was kind of neat. And then next thing I know, I woke up and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning because I was listening to you guys,
We put you to sleep, did we?
Yeah, perfect tone and everything, but it was really interesting. No, it really was about what he had to say about the worlds and stuff like that. I really liked that. That's kind of interesting.
Chris is just in his 20s, isn't he? He's a young guy.
25, I think, or 26.
Who we got here? We got Tom joining. T-Bone Tom. Wait for his
Tom.
camera to come on.
Came back.
Hey, Tom, if you mouse up to the top of your video screen, you'll see some controls pop up where you can turn your camera on and off. You might select a different and reselect the one you've got, the one you want, and then hit save. You got to hit the save button. I didn't see the last name, but I think this is T-Bone Tom Luciano.
It is, if you can hear me.
All right.
But my camera is not compatible. I don't
That's
know.
okay. Mark Scarborough hang out with us for a weekend here with no camera, and we did just fine. But I did not know that you were T-Bone Tom until the other day when I finally saw your YouTube channel and realized that's the dude that's been on a YouTube chat all this time. That's the guy that sent me that Super Satan. That's pretty cool.
Oh, well, that's pretty nifty.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it too. It's hanging up in my shop now amongst all its other friends. They're all stunters except for the little Satan, but
Yeah, well, Al and I are building you an engine right now. I pulled one out. I'm going to retime the crank, and we'll get it down to you within a few weeks.
oh, that'll be great. I'll have it bolted on by the time Huntersville gets here. Well before that, if it's here when we go to Triple Tree in a couple of weeks, then I'll take it up there and see if anybody can fly it. There might not be anybody I'll trust with it at our meeting, but if there is,
Now, you should have a lot of fun with it.
yeah, I appreciate it, man. Like gestures of gratitude like that mean a lot. You know, I really appreciate it. And I'm telling you what, it was a regular fight getting into that box you built. That thing was really packed. But
Tom, is that the one you showed me that had the big warp in it?
that's the one.
Hold on, I think I got an email from Tom about that. Yeah, I think
It's got some ribs in it that are kind of wavy looking, but he assures me that the trim tab straightens it out and it'll fly right.
You may have to bend that tab up a little bit. I bent it down to stuff it in the box.
First thing I always do is get eyes on it for some level laps up and down and see what my spotter thinks about it before we do any kind of loops and whifferdills, as he calls it.
Like I had mentioned, I mean, it flies maybe an inch high, the outboard wing, but if you start turning really hard with it, it'll start banging when you go for
Hinge. Yeah.
So
Yeah, we'll watch out.
Other than that, it flies really well. It's a little heavy because it's been in the ground twice, buried to past the leading edge. So
yeah. My plan is to get Mike Leinke to fly it, and he I believe can handle anything, and so I'll have him feel it out too before I take a handle on that. When we go to Triple Tree, I'm going to try my legs out and see if I can fly or not, and that'll depend. It'll be a game day call when when we get to Huntersville, and if I feel like I'm stable, I'll put it up. I might put the prop on backwards or something, but I'll put it up.
Yeah, you can prop it back. You don't have to run an 8.8 on it to start with.
Oh, let me ask you this. What about a streamer? If I tie a streamer on it, that'll kind of tame it too, won't it?
Yeah, it'll slow it down. And my biggest thing is if you have a heavy hub, put a heavy hub on it, because the CG is fairly aft, and it does turn.
I've got a Harry Higley acorn nut that'll probably fit that.
That's the one. I run that on usually my first flight, and then as I up to nitro and we start going faster and faster, I can take that off.
Yeah. You said speed overcomes aft CG, and yes. I'd never heard that before, but it makes sense. Yeah.
Thrust is like nose weight.
Yep.
It really is driving me crazy that I can't get a camera on here. So I'm going to keep fiddling around as I'm talking to you guys.
Yeah.
Bob, how are you?
I'm good. I talked to Larry yesterday. He called up. We talked for a while.
I had a nice day with him yesterday.
Yeah, he was saying you're flying well, and he said you look good.
Yeah, I tried the 11-inch prop. I think I'm going to go back to the 12-inch prop.
Really?
Yeah.
What did the 11 feel like?
It was, well, you know, it was really choppy yesterday, so I really couldn't get a good feel. I have to try it again at our field, but I didn't feel the reaction of the timer as much with the 12-inch prop.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, maybe I should order those 12s then.
Well, I don't know. You know, we'll play with it, you know, a little bit more. So.
Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't make it down yesterday. I was going to try to, but I forgot we had friends down the road who work in Africa, and they were leaving on Tuesday, and they had a party for them, going away party. Her father and mother had a going away party, so we went down to that.
Okay. No problem. All right, guys. I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna try to come back in. I'm gonna try to hook up some kind of camera, and I'll try to come back in. Okay.
Okay, T-Bone. We'll see you in a little bit.
All right. Bye.
T-Bone. All this time, I never knew who that was.
I've known him since he was a little toddler on the field at Union Model Airplane Club.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's been doing it since he was young. When around the time he gave me the plane and I was getting it and all excited, he told me some of his history, and I saw some pictures on Stunthangar, and I actually saved a few of them so I could put it with the history of the plane, because I got the letter he wrote with it, and I'm gonna keep them together, and maybe one of these days I'll pass it along to some aspiring young stunter, you know, when I'm done with it, and it's hopefully still in one piece. I had that Magnum they awarded me with when I received my first place trophy, and my only first place trophy in beginner back in 2013, and that was the plan with it. And Bob Zambelli and Wayne Robinson talked me into restringing it and putting one more flight on it one day out at Fort Jackson. And the whole time I was rigging that thing up, I'm going, this is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. But I did not listen to myself and just drove it into the ground. Just murdered it. And I knew that someday it might be funny. It still hadn't come yet, but I took a picture of me. I had Wayne take a picture of me lying on the ground with the Magnum scattered all around me, with the handle still in my hand, with me splayed out like that. And so I'll look at it once in a while to see if it's funny yet, but it's not. That just hurt, because I treated that plane like it was somebody else's plane, you know, and it's still, except for that one day, I'll let crazy Bob and Wayne talk me into flying it again.
Damn Bob and Wayne.
Well, we're built to fly. That's the hard thing. Things happen. They don't always go right. But I've got models. Got another one recently on the weekend acquired from a famous model around here. It was passed on to me as an exchange for a Goodyear racer. I gave the guy. I'll grab it.
Rusty, you didn't go to the Georgia contest, huh?
No, I didn't. I sat that one out. A lot of people from the Carolina gang went, though, I think.
Had a few from my club go.
Really?
Yeah. Brent, Virgilio, John Blanchard, Perry Rowe.
Did Steve Millet go? Steve Millet?
No, Steve didn't go. I don't think he's going to make any contest the rest of the year. I know he's trying to get that new Novar done, and he don't even think he'll have it done by the end of the year.
But Charles is on YouTube now.
Yeah, he's watching. He said he's got one of the cheap seats.
Flying control line stunt. I got a friend who changed his name on Stunthangar to something like Flying Control Line Stunt. I thought that might be him, aka or used to be known as Pound Liner or hashtag Liner, and that's Chris. But I thought he was coming on, but it's Charles.
Yeah, I recognized the little picture of Charles's.
I should have known. He's got the wrench, the moderator wrench.
That's it. The model. This one was actually built by one of your countrymen. This was built by a guy called Terry O'Mara that came to live in New Zealand. I think he came to the state in the States in the 1980s.
Is that a Walt Musiano model?
It's actually a Keelcraft Phantom, and they race them. My wife actually races her Phantom racer, and we built another Phantom racer. That one's got a little MBV motor on it.
What's the bottom look like?
It's a flat wing. It's just it's like a trainer really, but they race them because it's fun. You have to feed them with a squeezy bottle, and they fly them on 35-foot lines, and they're a lot of fun to fly as a entry racer. So my wife flies the little Phantom races when they have a Phantom race meet, and that got passed on really for my wife to fly. Sons will probably be able to do it now too. I always end up as pitman because nobody else wants to start the diesels. I just find starting a diesel's getting harder and harder on my elbow as I get older. That's all.
Is it safe to start a diesel with an electric starter?
The bigger ones you're okay, but a small one, if you flood it, you just take out the rod or the crankshaft.
Yeah.
They're easily flooded too. It doesn't blow the fuel out that easily unless it's side mounted. Oh, Jack, Dave Lee said he built a Phantom with a 1.3 mils. Great. There's somebody else that flown a Phantom before. I've got one on the wall behind that A10. I'll grab the other one. I can show you too.
Yeah, have y'all ever took a prop out of the pack and it balanced perfect straight up?
Once in a while.
Yeah, APCs occasionally.
This Thunder Tiger, I've been flying it, and I just got a balancer from Steve at the last outing, and I just took it off the plane, put it on there, and perfect. It's like, wow, got lucky.
Usually got to shave off some flashing around it that may or may not throw it off balance. I usually take a sanding block and, just carefully clean the whole sharp flashing off the edges. I think sometimes you might mess up the balance with that.
Does hub balance actually matter?
It depends on, high RPMs, I'm sure it does, but low RPMs, I guess it just depends on how meticulous you are. I'm sure eventually it wears on the engine to have it out of balance.
Even though the prop is balanced, but the hub, if it ain't balanced, does that affect the engine after a while, or?
Well, that was my answer about the hub.
I think if the hub's out of center, it'll be more of an issue than if the hub's balanced, I would have thought. Just to make sure the hub is even and flat, and the way it's centered on the shaft, I think, would be more important. If it's
balanced is always better than not balanced.
Oh yeah,
quite balanced.
Yeah, I just learned how to hub balance this year, so I'm just curious of how many people out there, you balance your prop and then, do your hub balance too. I just didn't know.
I don't.
I just balance the tips. But
I just do the prop again. I'm just an intermediate. So
it's $500 engines I might, but I'm flying old brown things that have been given to me for years, and they run great. I'll fly them until I can't anymore.
If it's a stunt ship, yeah, I might, go to the extremities of balance. But if it's a ringmaster, screw it.
Green Machine.
Yeah, that's the other Phantom I was talking about. My wife's got another Phantom too, but it's buried in the lounge. I have to pull it out of the cabinet. Her one's in camouflage.
Is that a clown? Yeah.
Oh, it's got a little cat in the cockpit.
Oh, I thought it was a clown. Okay.
It's a little cat that's staring out. Yeah, I think hers has got a cat in as well, but her cat got all black from the diesel fumes got up in the cockpit. So her cat went from white to black. But her one's flying many miles, her one.
It went from Garfield to Felix.
Yeah, it did.
One pilot, it needs a shower.
But yeah, they're great fun. This one's got a Mark 17 Russian diesel in it, but it didn't prove very reliable for me. I think it was well worn by the time they got it. But most people use the little POWs, the 1.5. It's the most common.
All steel metallurgy, or are they coated like glow engines are with chrome or nickel or something?
They're all iron steel. They're very simple, basic engines. The same design basically since the late 40s, I think, or the 50s when they came out. But they're reliable, but not terribly powerful unless you get a especially tuned one with bull races. I managed to squeeze the bull races into that tiny little case. But, yeah. A lot of fun. I remember Black Hawk models. That I can't remember the name of the guy that made Black Hawk models, but he made the.
That was Walt Luciano.
Yeah, they were his designs, but I think it was Larry. I can't remember his surname. He did the Black Hawk models, and Hobby King sold them. So I bought some of the.
Maybe I'm wrong. I know Black Hawk sold Musiano's planes, but
yeah, they were neat little kits. They did quite a range of little models. Otto built a couple of the Black Hawk kits. They were a great little model for 049s generally. A lot of them were models.
I like the hollow log kits. Those are pretty cool. I've got one called a Little Devil that I always had a great time. Hey, T-Bone, you got your camera working.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Where'd you steal the video from?
What's that?
Where'd you steal the camera from?
I had to go into my Chrome settings and allow it.
Oh.
Good.
I thought maybe you went to the neighbor's house or something.
Oh, no. The laptop has one, integrated in it. I just had to figure out how to use it. Never used it before. So.
Have you ever been to Tom's house? The neighbor's house is quite a hike. He's living in a really nice place. A lot of room around him.
Well, welcome to the Hangout show, Tom. Thanks.
Thank you. I've watched quite a few shows. I watch them as I'm building, actually, in my shop. So.
Yeah, kind of like Wendy has something going on in the background all the time.
Yep. Gotta have something going on. Keep me company down here.
Yeah, I have a TV. I gotta have something in the background.
There's a radio normally.
Well, Tom, you know what I listen to when I'm in my shop.
Yes. Well, Bob got me hooked on listening to Jackson Browne as well when I'm working in the shop too.
Ah, man, that reminds me of my college days. I love Jackson Browne.
And Billy Werwage and I are big Jackson Browne fans. So when he comes in, stays for a week and builds here, we just listen to Jackson Browne for a whole week.
I think the latest Jackson Browne album I bought was called "Late for the Sky."
For the Sky, that's his best album.
Yeah.
Watch, I'm going to show you my setup.
Take it easy too.
All right, so I'm on the laptop, and right above my bench,
There you go.
I got a 32-inch that I'm running HDMI to.
Oh man.
Oh, hey.
So,
Hey, hi, myself.
it's a bad habit
to look at us.
while I'm talking, even though I could just look up and be done with it. But I tell you what, when watching Flying or Wendy's videos or whatever, I just got to look up. I ain't got to completely turn around and do it. I can just look up. Got a question for you engine gurus.
Got a lot of airplane parts there, Jim.
Yeah. I got a little deal on a couple of engines the other day online. This 40 FP, practically new, so say.
Oh.
I can't see it properly.
Ooh.
I'll click on it.
How'd that happen?
No, I mean, that's how I got it. I already knew it was like that.
JB Weld.
So, but the thing of it is, I ain't got the part right there, the other piece, to fix it. So my question is it still worth trying to run it like that with a Venturi, or would I have to worry about air leaks? Because it's pretty, let's just see, down the throat, you probably can't see it. Look, there, you can see where the Venturi would stop at pretty much.
Yeah.
Goes past the Venturi, yeah. I just fill it with JB Weld. I put the Venturi in there, coat it with JB Weld, and glue it in. I've done it before.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
So, but my other thought was, because I already got a FPS brand new in the box, and I still haven't even ran that, so I'm not even thinking about running this, but I'm just going to steal the back plate and stick it on a 46. All right, so I got that engine, and then I got this 46 LA, and the guy said it's damaged. And I'm like, well, what's wrong with it? The throttle arms broke. Like, all right.
Hey, you better send that to me.
Stinking throttle arm.
Send
Yeah,
that
so,
to me.
so I asked him how much for both of them. $30 and $9 shipping. Send it. You know, so if anything, I got a parts motor and a 46 that actually has great pop to it.
You did it again, didn't you?
I did it.
You little.
One of those great deals.
Hey, you want to know how much I paid for this LAS?
I don't want to know.
LAS? I got my honey holes online.
Yeah, you do. Maybe you need to share some of that.
Oh man, no, you got access to 246 LAs. You on your own, buddy.
I got one LA and two formerly blue, now brown carcasses of parts I can combine together.
Let's see. Let me see what I got.
Can you guys hear me now?
There you go.
Yes, we can.
Good.
I haven't been.
I'm gonna have to hear. I enjoyed it, but I just wanted to tell Mr. Hunt that I appreciate his column in Model Aviation. That's the first place I go to every issue.
You're the guy.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
a reader out there someplace.
That's all I read in Model Aviation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's the only two good pages in Model Aviation, and that's the every other month.
Now,
Oh,
remember,
I flipped through.
we had a lot of
Yeah, that's right.
I flip through. Once in a while, I find some interest.
Thank you for doing it, though. We
Oh,
appreciate
you're
it.
most welcome, James.
Y'all hang on just a second. Let me sound check Charles. Talk to us, Charles.
Liberal.
And I was just saying that the only thing that Model Aviation News is good for is to mix my epoxy on.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And yeah, you're loud and clear. Good.
I ain't gonna lie. I even,
Bob's article, that's it. Between Bob's article and then the cover, it's a good place to put my epoxy. But I have the digital one, so I don't really even get the pleasure of the magazine away.
The digital this year, too.
that's the AMA magazine, ain't it?
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I got it.
I find since I switched to digital, I forget to read them.
man,
Yeah.
they just don't have enough control line in there.
I tear out pages to pick up cat turds out the yard.
Yeah, it's a
You
good
guys have
high
good-
opinion of that magazine.
But yeah, Tom, here we go. So I got this practically brand new 46 LA. That's RC. So I got this one I just got the other day. My Twister has one that's broke in now. The Cardinal has one. The Primary Force has one. And my little crown jewel, which probably going to get that Brian Gardner, upgrade. Bone stock Virgin LAS.
Wow, nice.
Hmm.
Nice. That was good.
I had to rub.
Out of the fuel and start flying those things.
Oh man, yeah, man. I got what this one flies. The Primary Force flies. The Cardinal just needs the tank plumbed and some monocoat on the elevator. And other than that, it's good. I was gonna start building my P-51 last week, but I decided to wait and make that my winter build because I don't want to rush it, just to have it for our contest in October or in El Dorado. So I'll have it for May in El Dorado.
Where,
And I have
El Dorado or where's that at?
Arkansas.
Oh, in Arkansas. That's not too far away.
Oh, it's in the southern part of Arkansas. Jason, how far is El Dorado from the state line from me? It's like 20, 30 minutes at that?
Yeah, it's about 30 miles.
Yeah, not bad. It's a 4-hour drive from me, straight from my house, exactly 4 hours.
We can get, you know where Ruston is at? Ruston, Louisiana?
Yeah, Ruston. I mean, I pass through Ruston when I go, so Ruston's like.
It's about a 30-minute drive from my house to Ruston. So.
Oh, yeah, well, that's not bad. Yeah. It's a good contest to go to.
I've always wanted to take a vacation out in the desert Southwest and just poke around, look at old, Indian ruins and the history out there, and the geology too. And
I go to Houston for that mess.
Never have gotten around to it though.
Charles, did you fly at all today?
No, not at all. I wish I could have. My kids start school next week, and we just had a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to flying again after we had a really good coaching session a couple days ago, and I'm really looking forward to putting in the work to fix those deficits.
We came up with an idea. Charles and I came up with an idea. He has a video of one of his flights on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
And we kind of came up with the idea that if we both pulled YouTube up at the same time, that video, and we started at the same time, then we could do a coaching session. We could pause it and go back and so forth. And it worked pretty well, I thought.
Oh, it worked really well. I mean, I was able to focus in on a certain thing, and he'd show me what the problem was. It was really great.
Yeah. I took a score sheet and started making notes on each stunt. I talked to you about that some the other night. I never have gotten back to it and gone any further. I think I got to maybe as far as the vertical eights or square eights, and then didn't finish it out.
Online stunt camp.
Yeah.
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 Hey,
That's
that's the best thing you got. That's the best, best thing you got. So.
Hmm.
The only videos I've got of myself flying stunt are ones that Otto's shot, and they're terrible. He gets all the angles wrong. I look terrible. But I'm going to make something that's worth posting. But I've got lots of videos for the.
It's hard to find. It's hard to find good control line videos. You got to get a camera operator that knows. Well, what I do is plant the pilot's feet at the bottom of the center and don't move the camera for the whole flight. And if you can make the tripod low enough, you can point it up high enough to get the whole pilot and the air overhead high enough to be able to see the very tops.
That's what Charles did. He set it back far enough. You don't need to see the airplane up close. You need to see the shape of the maneuvers. He set it far enough that I can see the whole thing without the camera ever once moving. And it was very easy to see the shapes and the bottoms and the tops and everything. So it was. I think that's something we ought to expand on and maybe try to do an online clinic or something.
Hey, I'm all for that. That is a really good idea.
It worked great.
Yeah, I wish there was a way. I know that Jamie's the only one who's been successful, to my knowledge, showing a video on these Google Hangouts. But I would love for us to learn that way too. We could isolate someone's video and maybe highlight some things, and they can do a voiceover.
The only bad thing is that the video don't show in real time. So like on my end, it'll show it, smooth. But watching it on y'all end, it stutters around.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
That's the thing. I don't know how it looks really, when y'all watching. I don't know if it's actually going smooth like you're watching a regular video, or if it's just,
And everybody's seeing something different depending on their bandwidth and video processing.
Exactly.
Yeah, my laptop is my video process is pretty good. So it's like real time, Jamie, when I watch your videos.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't. It's just like I'm right there.
Yeah, so I mean, it really all just depends on your connection, pretty much. It has to.
Yeah.
If you got a good connection,
your connection and your processing resources. Your connection.
But Jamie, when I try to do it, all I have is a black screen. So what am I doing wrong as far as the Hangout is concerned?
I mean, because I just go to, I'll do it right now. I'll just go to screen share. Just hit share. Then I'll just minimize. Go to my folder that has all my control line videos.
Oh my God.
And let's say right here, here's El Dorado last November. Now granted, this video, the angle and the lighting outside, it was very dark, very windy. So on my TV, it shows like crap. On the laptop, it shows all right. But let's see.
Bump, bump, bump. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's
Now,
not.
how did it show up on y'all end?
That's not really good.
Skipping a lot of frames.
Well, Skippy, yeah.
Yeah.
Still, you know, you can get a feel for it though.
Yeah, I think we can still get a feel for it. And so maybe we can work on that.
Dusty's one too.
Successful. Yes.
Now I lost all my sound.
Oh no,
We hear you.
We hear you.
we can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh.
You're gone now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Could be back.
the price of experimenting, eh?
Oops.
Probably.
Yeah, I forgot it does that every now and then on my laptop. I'll lose my sound after I play the video through a screen share.
Can you,
Yeah, it's just getting
can you
overloaded.
do a similar thing and go into folders and like show pictures and things?
Yeah, we do that a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's now that I know for sure I can do.
In fact, once you click one up with your preferred picture application, you can click right through them without having to do anything different. You just click like.
Can any of us do that, or do you have to have some kind of?
Yeah, you can do it.
Anybody can.
Bob.
If you mouse up to the left, upper left side of your video window, a bar will pop out with a green and white arrow, and click on that, and it's screen share. And then you've got two tabs. You've got one that says your entire screen and one that says application window. So you'll click on an application window, and then I usually open the picture that I want to share, and then when you open application window and click share, it's seeing it, and then if you've got a folder full of them, you just go to where you would be looking at pictures and click the arrow through the pictures, and you can show one right after the other.
Gotcha.
Yeah, look, this is that's Steve Mead's Nemesis right there.
Oh,
Ready to plan out what you want to do.
That's a fine flying plane too. Yeah, that's Alan Perret's Ringmaster Deluxe.
I like Alan. I see him a lot, especially at Triple Tree, and not sure if he's been to Huntersville or not. I guess Triple Tree is where I usually see him.
But he hasn't been flying lately at all since he nearly lobbed off his thumb.
Ow.
Cranking a Delta Wing plane. So yeah, he got a good chunk of that thumb missing.
Ah, man, I didn't know about that.
From what I've seen the pictures of it. From what I've seen of that plane, let's see. Say, here's the wing. Engine's like this at an angle. It's like almost at a 45-degree angle. It's
right angle. Yeah.
And so trying to crank it, I think when he got it running and he tried to touch the needle valve, well, it touched him first.
Ah.
Man.
Why would someone design a plane like that?
I've not seen Alan. Oh, man. I think since El Dorado, maybe.
What size engine was it?
I think a 35.
Oh.
I think it might have been a Pat King's Delta Wing, LTS Delta or something. I don't know. I never seen the plane itself. I just seen like a drawing of it, and it's like a really.
Charles Mackey had a whole bunch of airplanes like that back in the 60s. Airplanes that had the engine with a tremendous amount of 45-degree offset.
Yeah, some of those flat wing little combat planes would that came in the twin kits. I think Blackhawk sold some of them. A lot of people built those with just severe offset. And all the flatter planes have severe offset.
Yeah, kind of like this.
Let's see. Let me click on that.
It's close to the same thing, like the Blackhawk.
Yeah. Yeah, could be. Yeah, that's not all that severe, but it's still You got to pay attention, man. I mean, you know, as much as we do, as good as we get at it, if you run on autopilot one day, you're going to get bit.
Yeah. Like even my combat kitten, you know, it has a little, it's hard to tell in the camera, but it's got some offset to it.
Yeah, my little Satan's got about 4 degrees offset.
I remember out at VSC several years ago, I was holding Don McClave's Blackbird. He was running it up, started it up, and we didn't realize it, but he had dementia, or he was getting Alzheimer's at the time. He didn't even think about it. He just tried to adjust the needle valve by sticking his finger right through the prop. And he was in the hospital for the remainder of the day. They were stitching him up, and I was covered with blood.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Dan Powell did.
Well, being a mechanic as long as I have, my fingers have been around so very, very dangerous situations. I'm always self-conscious about my fingers.
Yeah.
One thing I like
our own Carolina Games, Dan Powell did the same.
With an electric, you're 70 feet away when the motor starts, right, Tom?
Yeah.
Gotcha. I even got video. I mean, not no fingers being lobbed off, but from the Houston contest with Frank McMillan's electric twin with retracts.
Yeah.
That thing is sweet.
Thank you. I designed it.
Oh, you designed it?
Yeah.
Oh, man. You know, you know what I liked probably the most?
And did the wind jump for
it? You'll take off, I think, after 1 or 2 laps, retracts come up. And when the motor's about to die, the retracts come down, and you have about 1, maybe 2 laps, and then the engine's cut.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The timing on it's pretty good.
In 2015, I flew my twin electric retract, and so did Buddy Weeder. And that's what Frank decided he wanted to build one.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Frank Briaco has one. Tom and I were down the field test flying it the other day. It flies real well. It's the same setup as Frank's as far as aerodynamic mannequin, but the clothes on it are a little different looking.
Oh, hey, let's welcome Jorge Gonzalez from Colombia, South America, is in here to visit us. I hadn't seen him in a good while. Sometimes he comes in on video, sometimes he comes in on YouTube, but hey, good evening, Jorge. Thanks for joining us. Hope all's well in Colombia.
Hey, Jorge.
He won expert PA with that thing. That thing was just.
Speaking of Colombia, I need to refill my coffee. I'll be right back. Y'all don't burn the house down while I'm gone.
Sorry about that.
Hey, Jamie, how do I get the picture in my application window?
What's that?
How do I get a picture in the application window? I can open the picture, but I can't get it to go in my application window.
I mean, like on the Hangout?
Yeah, to share it.
All right. If you scroll with your mouse to the left side of the screen, just under your toolbar, you see like a little blue box.
Yeah, and I got that open.
Okay, and you hit screen share.
Okay.
And then you hit share, and then what I see, you see pretty much. And so then you just minimize and then go wherever.
Share, then I open the picture.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna try to share.
And then to stop it, you'll see the little bottom. When you open up your browser again, you'll see Google Hangouts is sharing your screen with hangouts.com. Stop sharing, hide.
Okay, so I get it. Okay, let's see if I can pull this off.
Well, you got those pictures you took the other night?
You know, the only thing sucks about this 46 is the holes for the muffler are huge.
Here's before it was finished. It was just painted, cleared. That's his.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty.
Same exact thing as Frank McMillan has, except a different set of clothes on the mannequin.
I didn't remember it having twin rudders. Huh.
Which one? Oh, Frank's does it. This is the same aerodynamic,
Oh, okay.
With
all right.
Clothing stretched on it, You can put any look on it you want,
Have you seen Dave Sabon, his second wind?
Second wind, that's my airplane.
Yeah, he made a second wind. Then he made another twin electric with retracts. What do you call that one? He called that one the wind finder.
Mine is the second wind. That's my airplane.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think he made a second wind then he made a wind finder.
Okay.
He made 2 electric twins with retracts, and they both are not amongst the living anymore due to electrical failures.
Yeah, I need to upload the video of Frank's twin on my YouTube and put it up. I got so much video from the last like 3 contests that I took. Yeah, I never.
Hey Tom, I got the video. You guys, Tom's video's up.
Yeah, I see I see that.
Nice.
Was that my crossfire up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did I lose it, or is it still up?
No, it's still up.
Okay.
You still have it on screen share.
Okay.
Is that a profile or built up? Looks like a profile.
That's built up. That's a Bob Hunt design.
Yeah, I've seen it. Just doesn't. Fuselage looks thinner from that angle for some reason. Looks good though.
Yeah, flies really well.
Do you have that picture of Frank, Glenn?
Oh, we're depriving the YouTube watchers. I'm highlighting it now. Okay. Oh well.
Yeah, I'll send. I think I have one on my phone. Maybe I can. I'll forward it to my laptop. Of Frank's plane.
That's a nice airplane.
Oh, it looks unbelievable in the air.
He did a great job. He's some builder.
Oh, never mind. The holes are big, but it's good. All it needs is Venturi, and it's good to go.
What's the plane I heard y'all mentioning while I was in the kitchen? A second wind, is that the name of it? That's that twin engine, right?
That's my twin.
It's a modified shoestring.
Oh, is it really?
No.
Okay. God, yeah, you look like a doofus. I love twins. I've never built one, but my flying buddy Bob Zambelli likes to build twins, and he's got one called a Jezebel, which he had the wrong engine cut off and crashed on the pad at Huntersville, and he just destroyed it. A couple of Mays ago, I think May 2016, he was so upset about that. But boy, he builds a pretty airplane. But his twins, and then he's got a tri-engine or 2. One of them's called a Colibri.
There it is.
Oh, I got the picture. There we go. Yeah, that's gorgeous. In fact, that's on my desktop slideshow. I see that about once a week. Come by. That's a pretty plane.
Thank you. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that's a pretty plane. Yeah.
Man, it's extremely light.
I don't know what Bob's Jezebel was designed around, if anything, but
his design. That was designed back in the 50s.
Oh, was it?
That was
Oh, you know what? That's right. I remember. He's got the original design, or a picture, and something written on the stabilizer about him.
The guy's name who designed it was Hank Bourgeois, and it's a good friend of Win Paul. Win Paul knew him before he passed away.
Okay. Another one of Bob's interesting planes is his Starlight. And I've never seen another Starlight, but when you move the controls, the pilot stick inside moves back and forth when you give it up and down. I thought that was pretty cool.
Wow. Now, is that a big elliptical wing?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Charles Mackey's Starlight.
Ah, okay. Yeah, Bob usually gives some accreditation to the original designer somewhere on the plane, and I hadn't noticed it on the Starlight, but the Jezebel did have the original designer on the stabilizer.
Anyone have a picture of the Isabel?
I probably do. Yeah, I got one somewhere.
Jezebel.
Oh, Jezebel?
Jezebel.
Yeah, Jezebelle. I can do a quick hunt for it. Hang on just a second, and I'll see if I can pop it up. Might take me a minute. I think it's in my desktop backgrounds.
I'm emailing Frank's plane right now to my laptop.
Yeah, I got a bunch of photos of that too.
I got a Charles
Oh,
Wright
yeah,
plane. I haven't even got up in the air yet.
He liked the idea of the twin, but he didn't like the jet style one like Frankie built. So I threw him out he likes Cadrones, you know, that Cadrone racing family, and they had a C460 twin. So he started stylizing it into what it should have looked like scale airplane, and that's what he built.
While I'm
Red, white, and blue.
letting that, while I'm letting that out, that I can find the Jezebel in, let me show y'all another one I've got here. This is the one I was telling you about. Okay. There you go. There's that horribly fateful day of the Magnum. Believe me, it's worse than it looks. I wish I'd put the engine on top of my chest or something. It's sitting down there by my arm. But yeah, like I said, I'm still waiting for the day when that's funny, but it's not yet. Okay, I'm back to searching for the Jezebel now.
Okay, I found Frank's plane. I can share it.
I don't know why this folder is so slow to populate. I got one. Oh, here we go. This might be it. It's like all my thumbnails have been erased. Nah, that's him with his stunt rocket. I don't see the Jezebel. That stunt rocket's a cool plane, though. Here, I'll share this one. And he, fiberglass. Let's see if I can share that.
Tom has something up too.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, there's
Oh, there's Bob Whiteley there. I mean Bob Hunt. Is that Bob Hunt?
Yeah, Frankie's twin.
Can y'all see the Bob's stunt rocket there? That's a Musiano design, but that's not a very good picture of it.
Yeah, there's a big model, isn't it? Fox 59 or something on it.
Yeah, he's probably no telling what he's got on there. Oh, I know what it is. It's an Atwood. I believe he's got a Atwood 39 or something like that on it. I don't remember if it's a Sparky or not. What is? Yeah, okay. Tom's got one up. Okay, so I'm gonna stop screen sharing now. Cluttering up the show.
I got Frank's twin as well. Whenever y'all.
Isn't that a nice flying field?
That is nice. Wow. Looks like it probably has pretty clean air out there too.
It does.
Very.
Great place to practice.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't have any trees to start the little twisters spinning.
Wow. Very nice.
Black Widow.
I saw a Black Widow pop by. Whose was that? Oh, there it is. Let me click over.
Yeah.
I'm not on my toes tonight. I gotta
quick. You gotta be quick. Jamie goes swim quick.
What is that?
That is Frank McMillan's electric twin with retracts.
How do those retracts work?
They're retracts or E-flights, and they just hook right up to the human timer, and you just program them in when you want them to come up and when you want them to come down.
And so it's got a little motor and a worm gear or something?
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
I think the neat thing about them is I would pray that they come down.
Yeah, everybody says, boy, everybody said when I flew the twin, they said, boy, it looks so cool when the gear goes up. And I said, yeah, well, I think it looks a lot cooler when they come down.
Now, like this picture ain't as good, but on his second flight, when it came down, the hub broke off the nose wheel. Which it didn't damage the plane or nothing, you know. We just seen something like spin off, like off the circle, and it was like, what was that, you know? I mean, in the grass right there, that's just, you know, that's just Houston ground right there. But it's all concrete, you know, at Scobie.
He won the contest, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
Is that the black line on the back, or is that a carbon rod going to the controls?
There's some kind of trim on the side of the fuselage.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. Let me see.
Control.
Yeah.
That's
Let's go right up and look.
That's got a built-up fuselage.
I like that slim design. That's nice.
It's got a swept forward wing. The trailing edge sweeps forward to lower the stick pressure and wind, effectively increasing the tail moment. That's basically a Usama wing, Gene Schaefer's Usama wing. I like the way that flew so much. I designed this airplane around that wing, or the two airplanes actually. But we, instead of leaving a straight trailing edge, we swept it forward just slightly, and it really worked well.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get the video of it that I have. I haven't even watched it yet since I recorded it, and try to get it uploaded to YouTube. Have it ready for next week.
Yeah, I'd like to see it fly. I haven't seen it fly yet.
Because I got the video actually right here. Nope, not that one. But I'm not entirely certain how good. Let's see. That is okay. That's my flights right there. And this has some 23 seconds. I don't think. No, that's not it. All right, no. That's all you heard right there was a motor and my dad talking to Howard Williams. Uh-oh. Where's my screen share option? I done lost the option to hide it.
Now, if you want to do screen share, could you talk me through that one more time? Because I have some pictures of the show.
Okay. First thing I would do is go to your folder and find the picture you want to open and go ahead and open it. And once it's open, come back to our video window and tell me when you're ready to do that, and we'll proceed. Where'd he go? Oh.
Okay, well, obviously I'm not a computer.
Yeah, we lost you for a minute there. Okay. Okay, so when you get your picture open in your preferred picture viewer, let me know and we'll proceed.
Okay.
So Rusty, here's the replacement to the one I sent you. I don't know if you could see that.
Oh yeah. Hold it up. There we go. Let me click on it.
I'm sure I've seen that one on Google a few times. I've seen that flame pattern before.
Yeah. You probably saw the other plane, the one that Rusty has.
There was a bunch of those built, apparently. Yeah, that's a nice one.
That's the original paint scheme that Larry has, and he still has the original, by the way. This one is probably right now like 4 ounces lighter than
the
one you have.
Yeah.
This is going to be just over 16 ounces.
Okay, Bob, where are we at? Have you got your?
I got it up here in a folder. What do I do now?
Okay, if you double clicked on the picture and opened it.
I didn't do that. I'll do this without losing it again. Okay, picture's open.
Okay, just leave it in place and then go back to the video window and mouse up to the top left corner, and when you're hovering you'll see a bar of controls pop out with a green box with a white arrow in it.
Yep, screen share. Okay, I'll hit that.
Yep. Okay, so when you click screen share, you'll see two choices: your entire screen or application window. Click on application window.
Desktop and Google Hangouts is what I see.
He needs to hit share after he hits the green box with the white arrow.
Yes. When I click on the green box, I get share your screen and the two choices of your entire screen and application window. Maybe he's hitting something else.
I only have one choice.
Application window?
No, your entire screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I get both, Rusty.
What are you getting, Bob?
I have a thing here that says screen share for Hangout. Select a window to show in the video call. And it has desktop and Google Hangouts. That's the only two things I show.
I think he's too high, right?
I don't know. Let me go back over.
Too high. What do you mean? I don't know where.
It's like a little slide out tab. If you put your mouse towards the corner of the page, left side of the page.
And it'll appear. Yeah, you got to kind of carefully move the mouse over to the left corner, not all the way at the top, but near the top of the video part of the window, and that little bar on the left pops out with a couple of different controls for me, but the screen share is a green box with a white arrow in it.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay. And you click on that, but don't get the choices I get.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
let's not waste any more time on this. Because,
Okay. It might be something different about the way your system's displaying it.
On a Mac, I don't know if that makes any difference or not.
It doesn't seem like it would, but these other guys were saying they see a couple of different versions of it too. Yeah. We'll figure it out one night when it's slow.
Yeah.
We've had a good crowd tonight, though. We had a full house for a while there. 10 is all we can get, and it'll reject letting any more in than that. And we've had 9 a lot. I don't know if we've had 10 yet, but still good crowd. Appreciate it.
One time we had 11. Long time ago, you remember?
Maybe I don't count in that top 10
because they said, "Well, you're only supposed to get 9, and we got 11."
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'm not counted in that 10. Oh, let's see. That's a good way to screen share.
Yeah. Oh, that's a lovely picture. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's the one that I have in my desktop slideshow folder.
Yeah, that's $1 million shot there.
That is awesome.
Yeah, Mike Schmidt took that at the Nationals in 2015.
I watched that flight, Bob, 2015. That was my first year ever doing any kind of event at all. Was then. Yep, that was fun.
Yeah. My last night.
Yep.
Where do you live, Bob?
I live in Stockardtown, Pennsylvania, which is just east of Allentown, between Allentown and Easton, Pennsylvania.
How far is that from the Philly Flyers?
We're about 60 miles north of them, I guess.
Oh, okay. So a lot of those guys are
we're
good
to the Delaware Water Gap.
Yeah, a lot of those guys are good friends, and I see them they don't come in May so much, but they come a lot in October to the Carolina Criterium in Huntersville.
Yeah, they love that contest.
Any chance you'll make it down there anytime? Have you been to Huntersville?
I never have. I went to Joe Knoll one year, but I never made it to Huntersville. You never know. I mean, good Lord willing, we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm strongly considering going this year.
Oh, good.
Yeah. A couple of New York guys, I think, are going to go down too. So
we got
an open seat.
Canada in October.
Can I bring Casey?
Yeah. No. If she doesn't step on the plane in the back of the car.
My wife doesn't want to be left home alone with Casey. Yeah, she's still too rambunctious.
It's like the 20th and the 21st, isn't it, Rusty?
Oh, let's see. That's about right. I don't even have it on my calendar right here. It's on the one in the kitchen, but yeah, that's right.
Good week.
Let me pull the flyer up. I got it right here on the desktop. Contest flyer. And yeah, it is. 19th is Friday, 20th and 21st.
That in South Carolina or North Carolina?
That's in North Carolina. I'm in South Carolina, but Huntersville is North Carolina.
I went down to a contest in Winston-Salem years ago. I don't know if that was the same crew or not.
There was none. I don't know if it was either. That was before my time, probably. I've only been with them since about 2012, but Huntersville is 90 minutes, or maybe a little bit more, but less than 2 hours from my house. And Triple Tree is 90 minutes from my house, and so I'm in pretty good shape.
Yeah, you are.
Especially since I can't go to Joe Knoll. You know, that is just too much for me. I can't do that. But I've got two other, great places. Huntersville and Triple Tree are just wonderful to have in this neighborhood.
That's some place to fly.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, that's like golf course greens at Triple Tree.
You could ground run for 3 laps on that stuff. It's smoother than
Where's
that.
Triple Tree at?
You could roll around all day if you wanted to, if you could hold it on the ground.
Where's Triple Tree?
It is in Woodruff, South Carolina, which is it's a little bit. It's between Spartanburg and Columbia on I-26.
Oh,
How far are you from that, Rusty?
Triple Tree,
Yeah.
probably about. Oh, I don't know. It takes me about 90 minutes to get there, I think.
Oh, wow.
Do you live near Watt Moore?
Yeah, I do. He lives in Chester. It takes me about 45 minutes to drive to his house.
We stayed at his house when we were down there for all
I saw your name on the board, on the pilot's board.
It's still a heck of a ride every morning and every evening coming back from there.
Yeah, it is.
An hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah. A lot of times we'll stop at Watts on the way up to Huntersville. There's a great hobby shop in Rock Hill between Watt and Huntersville, and it's a real hobby shop. It's a big building with lots and lots of control line inventory and RC and cars and everything else. But it's got the owner knows what all of the stuff is for and how to use it. And it's just great. It's what a hobby shop used to be, and too bad it's not still that way now. It's called Hobby Stop in Rock Hill.
There's darn few good hobby shops anymore.
Yeah.
We got a couple near us, but they really cater mostly to the RC cars. Although they do RC airplanes, and they will order stuff in, if you need it. But they don't have any control line stock to speak of.
Yeah, we had one in Columbia that was catering to things. They would stock anything I wanted to buy on a semi-regular basis. And then the son of the owner took over, and it since has turned into a car place. And they don't even get any careful attention when you go in there to buy anything besides car stuff. So there we miss that. So. Disappointing. Hobbytown, USA is about as close as we can come, besides Michael's and Hobby Lobby. Actually, if you pull all the wood off the rack at Hobby Lobby and Michael's, you can find some good wood sheet balsa anyway.
well,
But you have to go through every sheet.
we need to get some good balsa wood.
Yeah, the best hobby store I've been to is Rodax.
Yeah, lucky I can go there that one as well. I can go there online and enjoy it. And I can watch your video, Charles, and enjoy it that way. But yeah. The best shop that, and I suppose RSM and Big and those shops that still do control line stuff.
Yes, yeah.
Tom, that plane you've got in your hand right now, is that one finished and ready to?
I'm bolting the motor on it right now.
Oh, great. Okay.
Good. Yep, it's hopefully test fly it Sunday.
Excellent. Yeah, I hope you can get a camera pointed at it.
What's that?
Yeah, I hope you can get a camera pointed at it.
Yeah, I will try.
Now subscribe to your YouTube channel so I'll get a notification if you post anything.
Yeah, and then we'll definitely have something up when we do the Vintage Combat in September. That's when I usually put all those videos up.
Yeah.
It's quite the entertaining day. And this year we're going to fly speed stunt with our combat models.
All right.
So it's a little
Sounds
scary.
fun.
Yeah.
I've tried doing it with my little Satan, but it gets a little hairy sometimes because it's not really trimmed perfectly, and I'm flying it on heavy spider wires, so I probably need to tune it up a little bit differently for stunt, even high speed stunt.
I got those plans from Pagani, Tom.
I heard. I talked to Jim yesterday.
Yeah. So. Hey, James. You there?
I don't see him.
Yeah, he went.
Yeah, he's got his mic muted. He must have stepped out.
I don't know if this is going to show
You talking about Jamie?
I don't know if it's going to, yeah, Jamie. I don't know.
Oh, that's Jason that's got his mic muted.
Jason.
Oh, Jason. Yeah,
I don't know if they're going to show up or not. That's Frank's twin that I designed for him.
Oh, I can't make it out yet. Oh, there it is.
It's kind of light. The pencil and the paper don't have a lot of contrast. Back it up a little bit.
Yeah, Jamie's gone.
Yeah. We're not doing too good.
Pretty dark photo.
We can sort of. We can get the outline of it. I mean, we can see the lines.
That's a twin.
Yeah, he wanted to build a twin, but he didn't want the aesthetics that Frankie's had. And Frankie's is more like a demented-looking warthog, you know. Kind of how I designed it with those rotors. And Frank wanted more of a drone-looking airplane. So they had a C-460 twin. I got online and looked on Google and found a C-460, and we kind of stretched it to make it fit that set of numbers.
Jackson Everly says they got I think he's saying they've got a hobby shop in Clara County, California that opens on Saturdays 52 weeks a year.
I might try a screen share as well and see if I have any luck with just some of the flying we did on Sunday and sort of see where we normally fly. Well, I'm not sure how. Can you see a guy sitting on a seat with a hurricane?
No, all I see is your face. Tell you hadn't.
I'll go back again and try again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now I saw me. So that was a.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. There we go. Let me click that up. Got it.
Okay.
That's one of the guys. That's a guy who's got hip problems. He built that Hurricane. I just test flew it for him yesterday. Gave it its maiden flight, but he's unable to fly right now until he gets his hip op in October. And that's his little model there. And that was a combat model that one of the boys planted.
Buried it up to its armpits.
Yeah, and that's a I think that was Super Tiger 60. One of the guys modeled
That's pretty sharp.
I can't remember the name of it. I have to. He had a Strager as well. It's that little Phantom there. I think that was my wife flying there. I think. Yep, and then that's just a couple of Dave Ackery, our club president, and some combat wings that he's got. That was a Strager.
That looks like my little combat gladiator. Mine's a half A though. I don't know how big those were.
What plane is this, Gerald? What is this?
That's a lot of ribs.
Those combat wings were just
that
2.5 or 15 size. The stunt planes, that's a Strager. I think it's one that he built from a kit, and he might have changed the spacing of the ribs.
That's the Strager?
Yeah, that's one that Brian McGregor in our club built, and that one he set up as an electric model.
That doesn't look like our Strager, does it, Charles?
Not even. I don't see any resemblance.
It kind of looks like that. What's that orange one? That
T-Rex.
T-Rex.
Looks
more like a T-Rex to me, but
That looks like a Cobra.
Right. Yeah.
And hey, Steve. Another profile models. It sounds like I got Steve in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve snuck in on us. I didn't even see him come in.
And then
I'm so small that you don't hardly notice me.
Yeah.
I snuck in sideways.
Well, there's my wife and her sister. They were both flying yesterday. On Sunday, sorry. So they were both. My wife was training her sister to fly.
A nice looking field too.
What is that? Is that a different kind of grass you've got for your takeoff strip?
That's a cricket pitch, so it's artificial grass, and it works really well as a takeoff strip. Apart from the ducks pooing on it, it was great. And I've just got my profile model in the corner there, that Japanese profile model that's based on a twister. And the guy's getting ready to fly. The guy in the background, Bob's got a peacemaker. He crashed that. Unfortunately, hit a post on landing.
Oh.
Oh, and that's my wife training my sister-in-law to fly. And that's that's Otto flying there.
What a nice field, Gerald.
It's why we go down there. We can fly at home, but our place is nowhere near as well sorted as that.
Oh, that's a real nice field.
Yeah. And there's Max flying. That's Max flying a combat wing.
Beautiful blue sky day.
It was a beautiful day, but yeah, there's some videos amongst them that but I'm not sure. Oh, that's my parents' backyard, so yeah, I'll click out of that and stop sharing. However, I stop it now. The screen.
Very nice.
Okay.
Now,
yeah.
when you're down under there and you're flying upright, are you actually flying inverted?
They fly, their engines run backwards to ours.
The food still tastes the same. Everything.
The up is down, down is up thing, you know.
Nothing exciting like that, sorry. Nothing exciting. All the same.
Hey, Tom, how you been?
I've been pretty good. How about yourself?
Not too bad. I haven't seen you on. I talked to Trexler last week and asked him if he heard from you. He said no, that you were busy with your dad.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Just
have you got to fly any of your new planes yet?
No. Haven't even done that yet. I've been dying to I want to fly that Crusader Charles Mackey, I want to fly my Stuka, and I haven't got them up in the air yet.
You got a twin boom Crusader?
Yeah.
Wow.
You want to see it?
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
Well, it's got a paint job on it.
That's that paint job Sparky likes to joke about, isn't it? It cost about $1.97 to paint.
It cost me $1.50.
Oh, okay. Excuse me.
$1.50 for the colors. Just these. This is like the first time I ever made decals. So that's what this is.
That's cool looking.
Yeah, I can't wait to get it up in the air.
Looks really good.
Oh,
good, Tom. Looks good.
No, thank you. And what happened here? I lost my.
No one's going to mistake it for a modified Nobler.
Yeah.
No.
Am I still screen sharing?
No.
Not now.
No, I got you back. So, how's your dad doing?
He's talking. He can't swallow liquids. Thank God, solid food is okay. He's walking and he's talking okay, and the walking is with a walker now. Yep, he's made a lot of improvements considering of what May 9th was, which was a terrible day, but hanging in there.
So, is he going to be able to be alone for any amount of time by himself? You still got to be there 24 hours a day?
Yep. 44 days so far.
Oh, okay.
I got to figure something out before next winter. Before this winter hits.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and he'll have ups and downs too. It's frustrating, but hopefully the ups come more often and last longer.
It was a lot of down, and just within the last 7 to 10 days, it's been on the up. But it's better.
Usually, I find when you have up days, you wear yourself out. That it causes a down day to follow. But you gradually work out of that. So I hope the best for him.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Is there any way you can get
I know how hard it is to work.
Come and help you?
What'd you say, Steve?
Is there any way you can get hospice or anything to come in and help you?
It's not that bad yet, but I could have people come in, but dude, as soon as I check to have different people come in, they say, here, sign the dotted line here. We want to take his house. It's everything's, everything falls under Medicaid, which is, they want to know all the assets.
Yeah.
So it's not to that point yet.
I was just wondering that a lot of times hospice will just bring somebody in for 3 or 4 hours just so you can get out and go grocery shopping or, stuff like that. When my fiance had cancer and stuff, they would always come in on usually a Saturday and give me 4 hours.
I mean, right now I'm here at his house, but I got Wi-Fi. So my next step is having myself a camera to be able to watch him on my phone when I can. And then I'll be a lot better when I take off, to go shopping, because that is kind of scary. Yeah. I do pull him out of the house and take him with me too.
How's his state of mind? Is he? Is he still got his sense of humor? And I don't know if he had one.
He's got a sense of humor.
Good. That makes a lot of difference too.
Yep.
You can ride a long way on a good attitude.
Yep. But
you haven't been able to work or do any of your business or anything this year, then either, have you?
Nope. I did my buddy Ricky Bollinger. He got a 68 truck, so that kept me busy for 2.5 weeks. Put an AC in a truck, and an old truck for him, factory air. That was kind of fun.
Okay.
Are you retrofitting it to? This was originally a truck with no AC, and
this was a truck that originally had air conditioning in 1968. Isn't that something? It come from Texas. The truck from Texas. Texas, man, that's a good place to get trucks, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
That's an old R14 system.
Texas, as far as I'm concerned, is the truck capital of the USA.
Oh, I bet it is.
Yes. Texans love their
trucks. Yeah. There were a lot of trucks in Ohio when I went to visit my family in Ohio. Saw a lot of trucks out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, how was the French? Did you get any French stuff or anything like that?
I got 4. Came this week in the mail. I got 4 French tickets. It cost me $96.
Ticket.
Got my speeding tickets.
You got a French tickler?
Yeah, no.
What'd you say?
Ticket.
Just went down.
You gotta be careful around Tom. You gotta speak very articulate. You gotta be very clear.
Yeah, French
tickets. Like I don't know what I got them for, what I did wrong, but they charged me 1995 euros. It came out $96 or whatever they hit me for.
You gonna pay?
But I knew I ran one red light, or
oh, you're talking about tickets.
Traffic tickets.
Traffic tickets.
That's far away from French ticklers, I tell you.
I know. You've been trading that house too long, Tom.
Yeah, I guess so. I miss my wife.
Are you going to go to court, Steve, and fight it?
Yeah.
They just charged my debit card through Hertz. They didn't ask or anything. They didn't see if I had the money, whatever. They just charged my my debit card that I paid for the car with.
Well, you don't even know what to fix it for. Like you said, you don't know what infringements you have. You just got the debt. You just got a bill.
It gives the dates. I got like 2 days in a row, and then there was a big span, and then 2 days in a row. And I have a feeling that I got the last two when we were in Paris, and I didn't do something right. I mean, it was crazy driving down there or something, but I don't know if I was speeding. Like I said, I know I missed a red light. They don't put the lights up where you think, you know, like we normally have them up top.
Right.
Damn thing looked like an old Buick tail light. It was red and it set on a post. And right as I went by it, I'm like, oh shit. And it was later at night and there was no traffic or anything. But I seen like a flash of light and someone told me they take pictures of your license plate. And I said, I'll probably get a ticket. So I planned on one, but I didn't know I did 3 other ones.
Wow.
Damn.
Maybe that was Samantha with the other couple ones.
Oh, she can't drive a stick.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was crazy over there. They had crosswalks, and if you were going too fast, a red light would come make you stop at the crosswalk. But if you're going the regular miles per hour, it'd go green and let you go. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So they monitored your speed all the time, and where we were at there was kind of mountainous, and you could pick up speed going downhill pretty easy. And it was 50 kilometers, and at the end I got pretty used to, you know, the speed limits and where they changed, and because it was like you'd be just going along and be like bang 50, and it's like shit. It's like that ain't good.
It was 4 in 1 week. Yeah.
That was the
yeah.
Well, that's what I figured. I got 4 in 2 weeks. I'm like, I'd have my driver's license there about a month, and then they'd take it from me, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Or you get pretty high auto insurance rates.
Yeah.
American Cowboy.
It didn't say if it was speeding. You know, like I said, I know that one I ran that red light. And, but yeah, it didn't say what they were for, but they were all the same amount of money. So I don't know if they just let you drive and speed. They really don't care. They just charge you $20 a ticket.
Oh, it's a bit like another tax. It's another road tax. Actually, if they're not telling you what you're doing wrong, it's just another tax, isn't it?
Yeah. I was telling the guys earlier, I was listening to you and Chris Red talk about that last week, about your event over there. It was really interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, you know, Bob understands the pressure and everything else, you know, what it's like in another country. And I mean, you damn sure better be able to perform on the day and the time you got to fly. And, you know, it
sounds like you're almost worn out by the time you get to that point.
Yeah, it's
when you get there, very jet lagged, and it takes a couple of days just to get past that.
Oh, Dennis.
Dennis.
All day long.
Good evening.
Hey,
Joined us.
Who's there?
Dennis.
Yeah, I mean, it took me about a week to get over the jet lag. And even then it was still, I wasn't hungry when I should be hungry, and, you know, and stuff like that. It was like still at 11 o'clock at night, their time was the time I'd want dinner. That's when I was hungry, you know. Like before that, I wasn't. Get ready to go to bed, you're just starving, you know.
Did you have any escargot?
Dennis, I love the trim of the airplane on the wall behind you.
No, I didn't have any.
Dennis can't hear
Very reminiscent of somebody else's plane. I remember that that much. It's very much Genesis-like.
Hey, Dennis, do you hear us, Dennis?
Hang on, I gotta change my setup here a little bit. Bear with me.
Kind of like the Usama trim I had.
Or yeah, what the guys say when you got back to work? They ask you, you know, about France and everything.
Oh yeah, they thought, you know, that we'd have a bad time, but I had a great time. I mean, I was never treated so good. I get treated worse in this country than I do in.
Yeah, I told you at that time, I wish you'd go on Stunthangar and tell some of those old guys about it, because they were talking about how the French had such a deep-seated hatred for Americans, and then you came on and told us about how wonderful they treated you.
Yeah.
You get treated worse over here because we know you.
Yeah, I know. But you know, I didn't realize until we got back and stuff here the other night. I was watching that movie Sergeant York.
Yeah.
You ever seen that movie? That was like 20 miles from where we stayed, where all that happened. So maybe in that part of France or whatever. I mean, that's where, like the Battle of the Bulge was fought and all this kind of stuff. You know, maybe a lot of them people feel different about Americans fighting there for them and stuff than what they do in other parts of France. I have no idea.
We've got a buddy who lives on the coast of France on Cox Engine forums, and I think he knows more about the history of the war than we do, and he's always posting pictures on certain memorial days of different artifacts that are left over, you know, bunkers and interesting things from the war near the coast of the invasion fleet. And that's always interesting to be reminded of that by an appreciative European, you know, that actually it's embarrassing how much more he knows about it than what I do.
Well, on the way back from the field every day when we went to the motel, we had to pass 2 bunkers. I mean, they were really bad shape. You could tell. I don't know if they were World War I or World War II. One was like a pillbox type deal, and one kind of looked like a cross that was just out edge of a field, and it was like off right by the road.
In all 4 directions.
Yeah, it could go. The star was like all 4, and then the pillbox, the round one, was 3 directions. It looked like. I didn't go out in the guy's field and look for, but I could see 2 going sideways, and I figured there was one going the other way, and there was like a door down at the bottom. Looks like where you went in. So I guess they build them there to protect someone coming across the field. I don't know.
What your daughter's friends think about her going all the way over to France and flying and stuff?
They you know, they thought she was lucky to get to go and all this kind of stuff. But she told them, she said it was a lot of work.
It's more than luck.
It's not luck. It was a lot of work. Yeah.
Right. You know, she says, oh, you're so lucky you get to go and stuff like this. And said, you know, this, and they don't realize that she was busy the last couple days and stuff like that, you know. You know, we try to see as much as we could and stuff like that. But, I mean, you're busy all the time.
I was hoping y'all would get a chance to take some time to explore if you would get an opportunity to.
There was a lot of other. I've got some modeling friends that are out of the country, you know, and they was posting a lot of what was going on with you guys, you know, a lot of the contests, and I thought it was pretty interesting.
Well, I got my telephone bill.
Oh.
$980.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
See a cell phone bill?
Yeah.
Oh.
But because I got it through work, they got it knocked down to $140. So they told me $10 a day. But anything we sent, like emails or whatever across, you know, I don't know how these other guys are posting this shit. I'm like, holy cow, I use this kind of data that I guess it was only $10 a day for doing stuff right in France, but you couldn't, you know, they said, oh yeah, unlimited texting and all that kind of stuff. But I guess once it crosses the ocean, it costs a lot more money or something.
Yeah.
What about what?
That I sent you probably cost something. Sorry about that.
Did you guys have something like internet or something that?
They had internet there, but the phones hooked slow to it. You had to be real close to it there at the field. They did have internet at the hotel, but it's like with any internet, more people get on it, everything slows down to a crawl, and you know, certain times a day it was a lot better than others. But
now after you said that, now I understand, because you know I one of the modelers was saying like, gosh, can't you guys post anything? You know, let us know what's going on. But now I understand.
Now, when they had it in Australia, somebody was covering it officially, I guess, and we at least got real-time scores, and that was interesting to watch.
Yeah, it was, you know, I didn't do a whole lot because it was, I didn't know what it was costing me, and they were saying this, but you know, I supposed to pay for 4G, and not one time did my phone ever hook into 4G. You know, so I could actually text. They would go through that way, but I didn't know they were going to charge me for that kind of stuff. And Samantha's phone, we went through Orange, which is a carrier there. And for the first about 5 days, we spent $40, and she could call back to the United States, all kinds of stuff. And then they wanted you to pay $20, and you got an hour and all this, you know, for talking overseas and stuff. But it was only good for a day. And finally, I'm like, screw that. I ain't paying, you know, I'm not going to pay to $20 a day to be able to talk to people.
Yeah, no kidding.
So instead, you paid $1,000 for the whole week.
Who did?
Instead, you paid $1,000 for the whole week. Isn't that what you said your phone bill was?
That's what they first tried to charge, but somehow my boss got it knocked down to $140.
I got a question for Dennis. Dennis, can you hear us?
What's that?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, barely.
I have a question for you. Is that a Dennis shower, a gladiator on the wall behind you?
That it is.
Wow.
The 35 version.
Wow. The one that Bob Harness flew, the smaller one.
Yeah, I just completed it and just put in its maiden flight Friday.
Yeah, we watched him build that one stick by stick on here.
That airplane was highly influential to my Saturn design.
I couldn't hear you, Bob.
I said that was highly influential to my Saturn design that I did.
Oh.
Airplane, yeah.
Yeah, I had I like the numbers on it. If I was to make a change, if I could, but it's supposed to be for classic, I would lengthen the tail, make the tail just a hair bigger.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, it's I like the wing shape, and the airfoil.
Oh, it's real nice. Sorry to interrupt. I gotta have to sign off anyway. I gotta get some sleep. But
okay. Well, thanks for coming on. It's almost 12 o'clock anyway, which is our usual sign off time. We got so many people tonight, I might keep it running a little longer, but thanks a lot. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Bob.
Do something fun this week. Do something fun this week so you can come back Friday and tell us about it.
Yeah,
well, we're gonna get them out.
Looks like Tom's airplane again.
Yeah, our TFR is over in another 5 minutes.
Really? Okay.
So we can get out. Yep.
Yeah, you can let me fly a couple times?
Absolutely.
I want to fly Frankie's twin with the gear up, you know.
It looks great.
I bet. All right, guys. Thank you.
All right. Good night.
All right. Bob. See you.
Good night. Girl. Okay, here we go.
So, Dennis, you going to tell us about the maiden flight? What do you think?
It went well. I was very surprised. I got to do some tweaking of the flaps a little bit still, which I just finished. So I got to go take it back out and try it. I had to build another fuel tank. LA-46 for some reason has a bad habit of surging at the end of the run. And when it starts to surge, the plane speeds up, slows down, speeds up, slows down, so the fuel is sloshed around the tank. On my profile, I was able to, cant the tank out so that it stopped that. Well, in this case, I can't do that with that Gladiator. There's no room in there, so I went in and rebuilt a canted tank for it. So I need to try that, see how the engine quits, because it would go on for about 5 laps, surging.
Yeah, that's irritating.
Hey, does that have adjustable lead outs?
Yes.
I had that. Well, Samantha had that with one plane, and John Paris solved it by, he goes, you got the plane pitching out too far on your lead outs.
Yeah.
Take that back in. He goes, that's what's causing it. Speeds up. It points the nose out, goes lean, comes back.
Yep.
Starts going rich and lean, and so we end up trimming that out of her vector with that LA-46 on it. I don't know why it's so sensitive to different pressure in that on the tank like that. But
yeah, I've had it on both my planes. Both the planes that got 46s on have had that issue, and part of it was yawing, like you talked about. It yaws out and comes back in.
Yeah,
it messes up the fuel. Sucking up of the fuel the correct way. So I'll do 2 things. I'll move the lead outs, and plus I put the new tank in. So
the trouble is, moving the lead outs affects flyability too. So
what'd you say you did to the tank, Dennis?
What's that?
What'd you say you did to the tank?
I did what they call a canted tank. In other words, if you take like a normal Vico tank, with the wedge in it on the backside, well, what you end up doing is you make the front end square, and then you make the back end the wedge, and you let that wedge stick out just a hair further. Like I got mine about 1/4 of an inch further than the front of the tank, and so it causes the fuel to go to the outside and stay there.
yeah, you tip it. I've done it with the Brodak made the longer, skinnier tank, and you could actually adjust that tank inside of a fuselage.
Yeah, and I don't have the room for that.
Well, how close is the pickup to the vent? I presume it's uniflow. Is it quite close together, the pickup and vent in your tank?
Yes, I got it about 3/8 of an inch from the pickup, the uniflow.
It sounds like it's enough good. I had one where I had the uniflow and the vent mixed up. I had my pickup on the uniflow vent, and it was surging really bad. And I didn't find out till after the contest, after I'd flown it all out and missed some clover leaves, that I had my pickup on the vent. I swapped it around, and it was perfectly fine. But I think if you've just got your vents close together, like I used to do that, I used to have them sitting right close together, and you'd end up with that same surging as well. But yeah, 3/8 sounds good.
Yeah, the main thing I was concerned about, because this is the first plane I've had with full wheel pants on it. And I fly off of grass. I didn't know how it was going to handle on the grass, and there was no issue at all. I was very surprised.
Well, that's good.
That's really good.
Yeah. I had that issue once, and I ended up ripping my pants off at the field. My wheel pants, that is.
Oh yeah, sure, Tom. Sure, yeah, wheel pants.
I'm glad you clarified that, Tom.
Yeah. Yeah.
We know how Tom is.
Yeah.
Tom was
Someone nose over on me. I thought, well, that wasn't very good. Nose over and my pants down, that's not very good either.
No. Kind of forget about that.
I wonder if he gets kicked out of all these fields.
Yeah, I don't know why. What is the problem? Yeah.
So as far as any maneuvers, what do you do with on your maiden flight? Just fly level?
I just did some lazy eights, some loops on the first flight. Second flight I did more. I stayed away from the overhead and the 4-leaf clover, but I did vertical eights and the hourglass with it. And I didn't have the hinges taped yet either, and I still need to do that.
So did you get the tank height set pretty good the first time?
I was surprised. I got the tank dialed right in, so I was very fortunate on that one.
I spent so much time just getting that right on my Strega.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I think Charles, you worked a couple months on that, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a lot of issues with my power system.
I was very pleased with the engine run. The engine run was real. The first one was a little rich, and then leaned it out just a hair, and it was perfect. And then again, except at the end of the run, I got the surging taking place.
How's your Strega running now? Did you get that fixed, Charles?
Yes, running really well. Actually, I been fine tuning it a little bit more and more, and I actually removed some head gaskets lately, and yeah, it's all great up until last time I flew it. I was getting some vibration out of the motor, and I figured out that there's some slop somewhere internally, the conrod, I think. It must be a little bit of a worn out bushing or something, because I have a little bit of a play. When I put the motor top dead center, I can move the prop just a little bit without the piston's not moving, but I can tell that the prop moves a little bit, so something's worn out, and I'm just like, really, because it's like I had that motor dialed in, ready to just kick some, and now I got it.
That's usually not a problem. A lot of the jet motors and stuff have that in there. For the reason is, if it's too tight, you can't get any oil in there. And you'll find a lot of high performance motors will have that slop over top dead, and actually on the bottom, but you can't feel it. But that allows enough clearance to get oil in there to keep that lubricated.
Well, I wonder if that vibration. I felt a vibration, and I go, "What is that?" So I balanced the prop and took it back out, and still felt it. And then and when I was playing with the prop, I could see that there was this play. It's about it's a radial play. It's not back and forth. It's just a play that as you turn the prop and you come to a stop, I can feel a little play back and forth, and it's about a 1/16 variance that I feel, or play.
Vibration through the lines or through the fuselage?
I felt that at the handle. I don't know. I don't know what it was. It was just like. Can
you feel it when you start it?
No, I can't feel it. But I mean, if I hold the prop and just move the prop around and get to a certain spot where I can tell that, for the most part, nothing's moving, I can get the prop just to move about a 1/16 of an inch, a radial, like an arc.
But I mean, when you're running it on the ground before you launch it or whatever, can you feel vibration then?
I didn't notice it, but you know what? I haven't tried that's a good idea to see. I just did not want anything to happen to this motor, so I just shut it down and came home.
But I'd check your wheels and make sure one wheel isn't loose.
Okay.
And stuff like that, because usually you'll find something on the airplane that's vibrating, and you'll feel it in the handle.
All right, I'll try that. That's all. I have a backup motor, which is a K77, and I tried to get that motor to work for almost a month, whatever reason. I don't know if I had the wrong fuel or what the problem is. So I went back to the stalker and got it going again, and got it going really well. I mean, the last video I posted, and it's even running better than that video that I posted. So I was a little disappointed, and I was thinking, man, the contest is October 20th, and I thought I was just all ready early, for a change.
They still got time to fix it.
Yeah.
You should probably just change the prop and spinner out, and then see, like Steve said, if there is something else on the plane that's vibrating. It might be there's some slop in the tank mount or in the cockpit, something, or some part of your control system, because if it's not vibrating on the ground, then it indicates that something is moving while it's in the air. It could be a flap or something that's just got a little bit of an oscillation happening. Because if it's not vibrating on the ground, you'd expect that it wouldn't vibrate in the air. But if it's in the air, then something's loose on the plane.
Yeah. But regardless of vibration, I'm just not used to seeing that slop or play in the in the engine. That's just a little disconcerting to me. I don't know if it's normal, and motors is finally just loosened up and broken in, or what.
Can you hear it? Does it go click, click? As you turn it, does it, if there's a lot of slop, it'll go click, click, it'll click. You'll actually hear, if your rod's really loose, there'll be a mechanical clicking noise. But if it's not that bad.
I used to hear it click, and I thought it was my spinner was hitting the prop. So I actually opened up the hole for the spinner, and then that noise went away. And that was, like maybe 2-3 weeks ago, I opened up the spinner slots, and that noise I was hearing went away. And then later on, I got the vibration, and then I noticed later on that there's some slop in the engine. But I don't know if that's acceptable. I have 1/16 of an inch slop.
I would think so, because when you're going around in an arc, you're going to hit a point in the engine to where the piston isn't really going up or down.
Yeah.
And it's just there, and then it'll make the circle.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, right at top dead center.
Yeah.
You usually get that little clank right at top dead center. I'll see if I got it.
I just noticed Jack Snavely posted a little while ago. He got a Norvell 074 today. Those are nice engines. I don't have one, but if it's as good as the Big Mig 061, then it's a good engine, because those Big Migs are amazing engines.
I picked up a new Norvell last year, still in the box. Come with a muffler.
I love those Norvells.
Yeah.
Hey, Charles. Gerald brings up a very good point. On my original Circulus down in Golden State, we were flying in the wind. This was the year after you came down. And I picked up a vibration in the plane. It didn't vibrate on the ground. It vibrated in the air, and I couldn't figure out what it was.
Right.
And just before the end of the flight, I noticed that the stabilizer was fluttering. And so I was able to land it and everything. And I got a hold of Brett Buck, and I says, Brett, can you check this out? Something's going on here. And he grabbed the ends of the stabilizer and sort of went up and down with it. He says, your stabilizer's cracked in the middle. And so I couldn't make the second flight, which I wasn't going to do it anyway. But when I brought it home, I cut it open, and sure enough, the stabilizer, right down the center line of the stabilizer, where I had a line that I marked for the center line, it had cracked. It had cracked right there when it was causing the stabilizer to flutter. And so I glassed it and put it all back together, and it's been fine. I hadn't any problems with it. But yeah, it didn't vibrate on the ground. But once you got in the air, you felt it.
Oh, well, thank you guys. You're making me
yeah.
I might have something else, and I'm glad to hear that.
I want to say, Samantha had an SB11, and we had that Rojet 76 in it. And she told me, she goes, Dad, the plane's vibrating and stuff. She goes, I feel it in the handle. I'm like, it looks fine up there. And so we flew it 2 or 3 more times. That last flight, she goes, man, that thing's really vibrating now. And I'm like, all right, well, we're done flying. I'll check it out when I get home. Well, I started checking everything and moving everything, and I'm like, that looks like the fuselage is moving. It was cracked from behind the wing all the way up to the turtle deck, and there was about 1 inch of balsa holding the whole thing.
Oh, geez.
Wow.
With just monocoat over it. But it got oil soaked. You know how them ARFs go together? There's like the bottom part that fits on.
Yeah.
The oil got in there and soaked up through that, right up on the fuselage, and that balsa got soggy and cracked. We got it flying again, but I added about 2 ounces to it because I'd end up tearing off all the monocoat and using the stuff Gary Lutz sent me. You mix it with alcohol and stick it on there, and it'll suck oil out. I did that for about a week, and then doped and we covered it with doctor paper and stuff and painted it. But it seems to be, okay. But yeah, there was it fatigued right there. So I'd check all of your different things and make sure everything's really good and fastened.
Well, thank you. That's a good idea. You know, there is a little bit of slop in my flap horn. Remember us repairing the flaps, Dennis?
Yeah.
At the house. So there is a little bit of play in those boxes that hold the flap. I mean, they're both flap. I can kind of move them. I can move them kind of like that. And very little, but there is a little bit of play. So maybe
they're not supposed to have any play, Charles.
Yeah, you might want to wick some CA down in there or something.
Yeah, they're removable flaps. I don't want to glue them in.
I just on my up here, I just replaced all the ball links inside of them because they froze up and loosened, and then they loosened up at the screw. So I had to cut into that and do some major surgery to get those replaced. So I replaced I have 4 of them, you know, in there, and so I had to go in and replace all 4 of them with the Rocket City ball links, and there is no slop in there at all now.
Hey, Charles.
The other thing you can do is put wood on your flaps to the tips, clothespins, and some pieces of wood in the back to hold everything so it can't move, and then grab the lines and see how much you have any slop in your control system.
Okay. Idea.
You can remove that flap, right, Charles?
Oh yeah, it's removable. I have a long wire on either panel.
You ever get oil down in your boxes there, dry box?
I don't know if there's any oil in there. I don't think so.
If there isn't, then when you take your flap off, just take a piece of tape and wrap around the wire one time, and then put it back in put the flap back on.
That's a great idea.
That will take up any play.
That's a great idea.
Dry box.
Oh, you made it so the flaps would come off?
Yeah.
For any reason, or?
Oh yeah, so if I wanted to adjust the flaps, I can just adjust the flap horn, not have to try to twist the flaps without breaking anything.
You know what's a good tool for adjusting the flaps while they're still on the plane is the ceiling fans used to come with little balancers you could clip on the blades.
Right.
And you can use those and just slide them over the, make sure you slide it right over where the horn is, and you can tweak them like that.
I just take the flaps off and I can just actually bend the flap.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to do that with this plane. Fortunately, I never had to do that. But yeah, Tom, I think you're onto something. I could probably fill up that space. Well, you know, I need to make some new flaps. I told Dennis at the hotel, oh, this is temporary until I get back home. That was back in May.
Are you home yet?
Yes. I know. It's just like everything else. I'll get to it. It's still flying. Oops, you know.
So Charles, did you pull your back plate off and look at your engine at all since?
Not yet. I've been meaning to do that. But that was, you know, my plane is something I use to motivate me to do things I don't want to do. So in other words, if something I don't want to do, I go, well, you can't touch the plane until you get this done. You know, there's been things I've been having to do and work on. Like I'm trying to clean my office behind me. I was in the financial services field for 22 years, and all these files I'm trying to shred and get rid of and stuff. And I'd rather fly my airplane than do this. So that's why.
Yeah.
I kind of have a reward and punishment type of way to get myself to go.
Yeah, I bet you though it's not the engine. I really do.
Yeah, because can you see this? Can you guys see that? Or am I too far away?
Oh yeah, let me click on it.
Right there is perfect.
Okay, good. I can see the back.
All right, I'm right at top dead center. Now my piston is not moving, and I'm moving my crank back and forth at least 1/8 of an inch, or
That's
maybe
pretty cool, right?
right.
Yeah, it's a lot less than that.
So that's you know, when you take your back plate off, if you can do that, and if that corresponds with, you know, what's happening, then at least you know it's just, you know.
Yeah.
That's
You're
just
right. I need to remove that back plate, Tom. You're right. I've been meaning to. I'm blind. I don't know what the issue is. You're right.
Yeah, there's going to be that dead spot in all of them.
Yep.
And some of them, like you said, with the road jets, actually make a little ticking noise, tick, tick, tick.
Yep.
But Dub builds that into them. That's a certain amount of clearance for oil to get into that.
Okay.
Into the bottom end there of your motor.
Well, for sure by Friday I'll be able to tell you I opened it up and see what the problem is.
Yeah, I'd check the airplane first and see if you can find anything there that wiggles. And who knows, the wiggling may actually, if you haven't checked the flaps, making the wiggle worse. So it sits there and vibrates, and then it starts beating that wood inside. And
Yep.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Your Straga's got on what is it, like 400 flights or something? You've done a huge.
400. Yeah, 400 flights.
Yeah, yeah. There's bound to be somewhere in some places. So you just got to keep an eye on it. The model that I used to do my display flying with every week at the Museum of Transport and Technology, that thing took a hammering, and there was always something working loose or coming loose on the thing, because flying every Sunday, one flight after another for well, we entertained the crowds, but yeah, it came at a cost.
Right.
I'd even check your tip weight, make sure it hasn't come loose inside the box.
oh yeah,
That's another good idea. Yeah. Yeah, I'll check everything that I can check. My tail wheel is soldered on, so that's something that I don't have to worry about. But everything else,
You guys stuff paper towel in your weight box to keep your weights all down.
I have a little spring actually, kind of a spring you'd find in a ballpoint pen kind of spring.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I usually stuff some slushy foam in there with it.
yeah. Samantha's new plane there. When I took it out of the case, I was in France. I heard this noise. I'm like, what the hell? Something broken's flopping inside that one wing. And I'm shaking. I'm hearing it. It was the tip weight. That damn shit was loose as hell in there. How it did it, I have no idea.
Wow.
And I ended up stuffing toilet paper in there because that's all we had there in the room.
Yeah.
Was it 3-ply?
Very good. Yeah, maybe the French do have 3-ply.
But yeah, I poked that all in there and had it all stuffed up, and then it's like, okay, come here, Samantha. I held it down, get that screw started, put the screw in there so that paper would really push down on them.
Yep.
Blood weight in there.
Well, guys, hey, I got to get going. Nice seeing y'all. Hope I get back on again soon.
I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks for coming.
Catch y'all later.
Yeah, Tom.
Good luck.
Good with dad and stuff, and hope to see you on here. Nope, he's gone quick.
He's gone. I was going to say hi to your dad for us, but anyway. Well, we've had a pretty good crowd tonight. I reckon we'll go ahead and wrap it up now. But I appreciate all y'all coming on. And got a good crowd over on YouTube, too. We still got Bob Bishop, who's in and out working on people's computers, but he's still in and out.
You guys, you want me? Can I tell you a quick story? I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
I especially Charles. I said to Bob the other day. I said Charles is a student of Stunt, so he's a pretty cool guy. And I got a little story. I was with Larry Scarinzi, and he was a guy that's been around since like day one, right?
I got to ask you a question about Larry here in a second when you're done with your story.
Okay. So Red Reinhardt won the Plymouth Nats, Plymouth International, 1950. Okay.
Right.
So he was going back in 51 to defend his title. So they keep hearing about this kid named George, right? And he's got this new big plane, and it's flapped, right? They couldn't believe it. Now, Red won with the international stunt winner, Walter Umland kidded, right? So Larry tells the story all the time. So they see this kid, George, is ready to take his flight. They look at the new plane with the flaps and all this, and he starts the motor up, he takes off, and they look at each other, and they go, he missed the needle. So in other words, he didn't get his motor runner right. And that was the birth of the 424 brake. Wow. They pulled the nose up, it leaned out, and they looked at each other, go, guess he didn't miss the needle. And that's where it all started. So it's a great story. I mean, he was there, and it's really something. And that was obviously was the nobler.
Yes.
It's a great story.
Hey, how is Larry's wife doing?
He doesn't really say much. I know he wasn't at Brodak this year, and
Yeah, they said
her legs are bothering her. See, he just told me yesterday that she's been a diabetic since she's 28 years old. So she's done a great job with it, taking care of herself.
It is pretty impressive.
Maybe it's starting to pay its toll. I mean, he's 84. He's a year older than my father. I mean, he's slowing down as well. We're hoping. He promised me he's going to fly on Sunday because I haven't seen him fly in a while now too. So,
well, tell him that Steve Hines said hi, and
I will
tell Ginger hi and stuff like that.
They're great.
We didn't see him at Toledo. He's usually there.
Yeah.
We didn't see him at Brodak.
Yeah, he usually brings me nitro back from Toledo.
Yeah. But I knew something had to be up.
The first one he missed was this year at Brodak. He's been there 21 years straight.
Wow. Yeah, I saw him at Brodak when I went there 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I got pictures of it was Larry Scarinzi and then Bryce from out of the country. I can't remember where he was from, but it was Bryce, Larry Scarinzi, and Charles Johnson. His Lordship Johnson, Charles.
Yeah, I get the newsletter.
Yeah, him, and then there was another guy, I can't remember his name, but we was all underneath the tent when it was raining on a Thursday, and that was a fun time hanging out with those guys.
Oh, the stories they tell, it's great stuff.
Hey, anybody hear anything about Rich Jacobone? How he's doing?
Bob goes sees him and Buddy. They go see him once a month.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, they do. I guess the only thing he's having a hard time with is his speech.
Yeah, I talked to him on the phone about a year ago, and he said he don't like to talk on the phone. And I said, well, get on Facebook Messenger or something you can type, so we can keep in touch, or text or whatever. But he doesn't do that, and it's.
Yeah, he's a great guy too. I had just met him. I was probably only in Stunt maybe 2 years prior to then, him having his incident. So, but I did get to meet him, and he was a great guy, really a great guy.
Yeah, I met him at Brodax too. I mean, it was great, like a chance to meet all these guys. I really wish Wendy would have been there because I saw.
Yeah, you want to meet him videos, right?
Yeah, I met Joe DeMusco and Mugsley, or David Midgley, I mean, and Jacobone, and can't remember the other guy's name.
Was John Tavio still?
No, unfortunately, he wasn't there. I don't know if he had passed away yet, but he wasn't there. I don't remember.
The last year, I've gone to Brodax twice. I believe it was 2014 and then 2017. I think 2016 was the last year John was there.
Okay. Yeah, I was there at 2000.
I was there for a couple of days.
Yeah.
That year.
Yeah. 2014, his son brought him, and they drove him around in the cart.
Yeah.
Yep. And he went out and he actually made it out there and launched for Samantha because we flew her JD Falcon that he gave her. Only time it's been flown. It was the second one ever made. She still has it, but yeah, we brought it and put up a flight with it, and she won't fly it anymore because she's afraid that something will happen to it.
Yeah. So did John give Samantha his AMA number, or how'd that happen?
Yeah, he gave her the AMA number and he put it on that airplane.
Wow,
that he gave her. And so that was really the same year. Because I don't know if you heard that story or not. It's around Christmas time, and AMA sends a letter, and I open it up and it says Samantha Hines, and it's an AMA card, and it said 280 on it, and I'm like, well, shit, they sent her a new AMA card with the wrong number. I'm gonna have to call AMA, so I threw it in the trash. So about, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 days later, John calls. And he said, "Did AMA let you know that I gave Samantha my number? I willed it to her. They let me do it before I die."
Wow.
And I said, "No, they didn't." I said, "But I got a card with 280 on it, and I threw it away because I thought they made a mistake." He goes, "That's my number I gave her." I'm like, "Shit." So I go outside and it's freezing cold and I'm pouring trash out of my big trash container trying to find that AMA thing. And so, yeah, I dug it out of the trash and let Samantha know that was her Christmas present. But yeah, I was funnier than hell. I just threw it away.
Got the hot dog ketchup and everything off of it.
Yeah. But yeah, I figured. I'm like, what a bunch of dumbasses at AMA. They can't even get her. That ain't close to her number.
Yeah, that's great.
So I threw the trash. But
that's a great story.
And AMA is saying, "That's Steve Hines, that dumbass." Calling us up and says,
well, no one let me know to be looking for it or anything, you know. But yeah, I just opened it up and said, "Well, they screwed up."
Wow, that's pretty neat to have just 3 numbers. Man, that says something.
He got that for, I don't know, being a CD or an ED and being on the board and doing all kinds of stuff for him to get a 3 number. And that was basically the last 3 numbers of his AMA, his original AMA number. Because he had a 4 number, and they just dropped, or 5. They just dropped a number or whatever. So he went back to his old number, but his still had the 280 in it.
Yeah, I had the first 7-digit number I've ever seen.
Pardon me?
I had the first 7-digit number I've ever seen.
Mine's a 5, I think.
I'm 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm 5. My number is actually lower than my father's. My father started 1960. Back in the early 70s, they used to recycle numbers. So my father's number is 35,147. Mine's 13,001. I've had it since 1970.
Wow.
Everybody goes, "How'd you get such a low number?" I've been a member a very long time, but yeah, they used to recycle them back then. Now, you see people are over 1 million. So
yeah,
I got mine back in 75, I think it was. Mine's 86076. And my brother's 75. We sent them in together, and they gave him a lower number than me.
Yeah, I don't know what my old number was when I was a kid. I had a AMA license back when I was a kid, but I don't know what number was. I have no pictures of it. And when you call AMA, at least they want you to know what the number is. I don't know if that's changed, but before you had to have the number, and then they would verify it. But if you don't know your number, I think you're definitely.
Well, when's the last time you checked on that?
I haven't tried in years.
They found records. If you knew the club you belonged to back in the day.
I wasn't in a club.
Oh, you weren't in a club at all?
No, I just did the magazine and got my AMA number, You
might call them back and try again. They found, because something burned up or whatever, but they found a backup somebody had or whatever.
Okay.
They can go back in there now and find your old number.
Yeah, I might do that.
That's what I did to get mine back.
My number right now is 787051. So I have 6 numbers right now.
Yeah, I don't even know what my second number was, but I'd have to go back and look at some pictures and stuff because I couldn't get my original one because I let it elapse. And then for a couple of years there, and then that's when they lost everything.
Yeah,
one day I just asked, and I'm like, I wish I could get my old number back. And the guy says, "What's your name? And did you belong to a club or anything like that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I gave him, my name and stuff like that. And I said, "This is my brother's name." I said, "We got them. They're just one number apart, And he got back on the phone about 5 minutes later and said, "Well, I found them. I'll send you and your brother a new card." And
Wow.
they came on the card, and it was that easy.
I probably need to find my old address. You know, my parents moved a couple times, so I gotta see if I can find my old address. I know the street, I just don't remember the number.
Oh, okay.
That might be good enough. Who knows?
Yeah, I'd give it a try.
Just for the record, Bob Bishop was 6866, and let's see, that was from the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Bob, it signed off. You're still out there, Bob.
So he was 6,800. So then he was probably recycled 60s. Just going by what my father was, 35,000. Right. So he was 1960 or 61, something like that. He joined. So if Bob was in the 6,000s, then I guess they recycled. See, I guess they did it a lot back then.
Yeah.
That's why they lost records. I had heard the same story Steve had heard, that when they moved headquarters, you know, they lost all the records and everything. It's good to hear that they got them back. But.
Yeah. Yeah, but a buddy of mine was 46 something, but he got his back in the 50s.
Oh, wow.
You know, so yeah, it was like he was one of the early people in within a year or two or something. They'd already had 4,000 people join up when he got his number. But yeah, we're gonna try to get a brick with his number and name on it, put it there at the museum or by the headquarters and the thing. But yeah, they found some old 35 millimeter film, and it shows him flying a twin Fox 35. I think the 35. It sounds like it with the brake and stuff. But that was we figure in the early 50s because the cars were from the 40s. But we know that he didn't start flying until after World War II. But maybe it was in the 40s, but we figure it's, you know, like 51 or 52. It shows him flying control line.
Who are you talking about, Steve?
A friend of mine, his name was Lenroe.
Okay.
He ended up flying pattern and stuff like that, and he made it to the Tournament of Champions and all kinds of stuff. I mean, he was just one hell of an innovator on different stuff that we just take for granted now. But he'd made some kind of this. You'd stick it in your airplane. It had a button on it, and it would tell you where your battery pack was, how much charge in it. You know, back when he was flying that, you know, they didn't have NICADs and stuff like that as much and stuff. So, but it was when the plane landed, you hit the button right then. You didn't let it field charge up, wait a while, and get it back. And then the last ones he had were green, yellow, and red. So if it was in the green, yellow, you knew it was getting caution. If it was to the red, you best not fly the airplane again and stuff. But he did that. He did. He built radios and stuff, and it was kind of cool because he took two servos and he used square tubing, and then the one tubing slid inside the other, and then there was a like a place that was soldered on there to hook to a push rod, and if both servos went, it would throw the travel 100%. If one servo went bad and only one would move, it would throw the elevators 50%. Because he said back then you couldn't trust servos. They just go bad. He'd take his apart all the time and clean them, and I guess they get crap in them or something way back in the day. So he developed that, and everybody around here flew with that deal until servos got better. And then, you know, they had coreless and stuff. They didn't need them, but it was pretty neat the way that the different stuff he came up with to do stuff. And back in the 80s, he was doing stuff with carbon fiber.
Wow.
How to make things light and stuff like that. He had a bunch of designs. I don't know if anyone knows Ivan Christensen. He was the Canadian champion and stuff like that. But Len would always go there and help him design airplanes and stuff like that when he got older. And he wasn't playing in competition anymore and stuff. But Ivan would always have him out. But yeah, he knew Hanno Pretner and all them. That was back in the day when Hanno was a kid. He was kind of finishing up his career flying. But
hey guys, it's about time for me to break it off. I'm sitting here with my eyes closed. So.
Alrighty.
I want to go to sleep.
Well, I'm glad you find our conversations interesting, Rusty. If you're falling asleep.
I'm fading. It's a long day, man. Mondays are tough.
We're gonna have to move you to California.
Maybe Charles would take over for me. He could start the show a lot earlier than I could.
Yeah, we can start the show earlier too. It doesn't have to be this time.
Yeah.
I forgot all about it tonight. I was working in the yard and stuff, and
yeah, somebody was asking about you early on. I told them Steve always joins later. But anyway, let's close it up, and y'all do something fun this week so you can come back Friday and tell us all about it.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, thank all you dudes for coming in. We had a good time. Good show tonight.
Good night.
And that same goes for you folks out there on the tube watching us. Appreciate y'all coming. And
hey, Rusty.
Yeah.
I asked you because I watched last week's. Don't distort my voice on this thing so I sound so different.
I'm pleading not guilty to that. I think you're distorting it yourself.
No, I listened to it last week's, and that sounds nothing like me. So you guys are changing my voice somehow.
Okay. We'll see what we can do about that. All right. Until Friday, we'll see y'all.
See you guys.
Fair winds, tight lines, and we'll see y'all later.
Y'all later.
Good night.
Bye.